Wingspan is a place full of birds. Your goal is to build a wonderful preserve that will lead you to victory. Learn new facts about birds. Blue jays can carry up to 5 acorns. Discover new species. Help them lay eggs. Gain food. Or even hunt. Become a bird enthusiast. Wingspan, a relaxing strategy game.
Lavender Legal Center is a nonprofit providing legal representation and related advocacy by and for LGBTQ Iowans. Lavender provides direct representation, advocacy, and referrals, with a priority for serving those with low income and LGBTQ youth. Lavender operates with 4 main core values. The first is equity, recognizing that legal aid and related advocacy are basic human rights. Second is inclusivity, providing equal access to services for those who are marginalized. Third is dignity. LGBTQ people are worthy of advocacy no matter their specific need for assistance. And fourth is compassion. LGBTQ people in need of legal services come to the matter with great vulnerability. To best serve those individuals and families, Lavender Legal Center must have concern and understanding for their sufferings. Your support of Lavender Legal Center helps further the mission to provide legal services, advocacy, and resources for the LGBTQ community. Together, we can build a more equitable, inclusive, dignified, and compassionate future.
Wingspan is a place full of birds. Your goal is to build a wonderful preserve.
The only way to begin is by beginning.
And that is how we started this stream session. The only way to begin this stream is to begin it. Thank you, and welcome to Roleplay Give. We are a virtual tabletop gaming community. Tonight we are playing 5e. We're playing 5e reskin.
We appear to have gone offline. We have a most recent video, Vault of the Drow.
I had stopped streaming when I moved over.
Nice job.
I have only had 3 sips of wine. All right, we're going in cold. Here we go. No, it says stop streaming. It tells me I'm still streaming.
I don't even have like a play button. We're not.
What am I streaming to then?
It does say live, but I don't know what's going on.
Which?
Oh, now it's there. Now it's there.
Well, that'll be fun. Might want to edit this one before we upload to YouTube.
I mean,
Okay.
every stream we post has this kind of crap in it.
Yay!
Thanks for the sub, Robin. And that's how we'll start
No
this
problem.
stream. It's with that. But hey, welcome to Roleplay Give. We are a virtual tabletop gaming community. Tonight we are playing 5e, Dungeons and Dragons, and we are playing a reskin of a 1e module, D3, the Vault of the Drow. The other thing we do as Roleplay Give is we're a gaming community that also tries to give back to our community. And so right now we are playing for Lavender League, and if you have an interest in helping out a group of people in Iowa whose purpose is to assist LGBTQIA youth, particularly LGBTQIA youth at risk, who may need help with a plethora of advocacy services, please feel free to hit the donate button right below our I don't know, the screen, right below the gameplay screen. But if you know, give us $5, you can buy a reroll for the players or me, the DM, and $10 buys the entire party a reroll. $10 will also buy me the amount of rerolls that you would give the party. And if you give $20, I think it's actually 25, we will roll down the wild magic table, and something crazy will happen to the party. Might be good, might be bad. It's all random. At some point, though, I really gotta pick Ed's brain to see what's in that weird book and see if there's a better table to put in there for the random roll. That might be really fun in there. But Weird by Mighty Cook, right? Is that what it's called? Weird?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. So, picking up where we last left off, our heroes who have been adventuring together for, I think, over half a year now. Um, Although we have been playing this game for 4 years, uh, they they were asked by the King of Keelan, King Kimbertus Scotti, to look into these disruptions in the land, burrowing creatures that were destroying Keelan. Turned out that these burrowing creatures were being driven out by giants establishing new strongholds. They also found out that the giants were under the influence of a nation of Drow who were attempting to bring their goddess Lolth into the material plane from the demon web pits where she rules. I don't remember what layer of the abyss, but it's one of the layers of the abyss. Uh, and she could enter this world if 8 legendary artifacts, the Threads of Loth, were joined together to create a web of Loth. They have all 8 Threads of Loth. They are heading to the Great Fane of Loth, the large temple. They don't actually know it's called the Fane of Loth, but uh, that's what it's called. Uh, the Great Temple of Loth in the city of Erlai Kinlu. They have been making their way here for some time now, uh, and after liberating their friend who had the 8th thread of Loth, they ran into basically a whole bunch of what I called loose threads. People that they left alive through their other adventures or didn't encounter who might want to find them, and a battle ensued in which they killed almost everybody. One of them managed to scarper, uh, and so they are now recovering from that battle in a sort of exposed lava pit, kind of very hot uh, cavern inside the tunnels leading to Erlai Kinlu. And so, where we directly left off was as Robespierre finished or was healed by Vela, he heard the voice of his patron, the Weaver, say, "I am now with you." And it sounded differently, and he was given to understand that the spirit, the essence, I don't know, I guess the essence is the best way to put it, of the Weaver is now in co-inhabiting his body because she was under threat from Lolth. And that is where we're going to pick up. What does the party wish to do? As you stand here, I guess I should set the scene a little bit. The traitorous Banwood, a Nightshader, is in trying to tend to her daughter in this prisoner cave here. She knows she must stand trial for her treason, which I didn't explain earlier, but just know she's a traitor. And the rest of you are sort of gathered in differing places around this cave. So, what do you wish to do?
Loot the bees.
While she's doing that, I'll make some good berries and give them to the prisoners, so they can get some
That
food. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I think Newbin wants to loot a body or two himself.
All right. The bodies that, like, you threw Forshay Azoth into the lava, you cannot loot her.
I didn't.
Well,
Nope, that was all me.
Gelen Prime Water, who you assume to be Gelen Prime Water, Scarpered. The fire giant body is still here, I believe. It's near Elva. And there were 2 Deathlocks. Those, I think, then a whole ton of Drow assassins, etc. So, in sum total, you find mostly of note cash. Well, currency anyway. And so, not a whole lot in loose gems. Mostly actually platinum. So you find amongst all of the Drow bodies a total of 75 platinum. There is 2 potions of healing that sadly they did not consider taking at the time. There is 1 scroll of blink that you find on the Drow Assassin. And the Drow Assassin has a very nice looking dagger. The Fire Giant, the first thing I will say is he has a bag. So, where's my bag of... There we go. Do we want items in a giant's bag or giant's bag contents? Because they're actually different tables. You guys pick. I don't know which one's better.
Hold on. Heads is the items. That's heads.
Okay.
Is that actually looting the bag back there?
Yep.
Nice.
So, you get a small bag of salt. This was a major guy. I'm going to do 2 rolls on that one.
I'll add that to the marsh.
Okay.
When we return home.
I'm
Make it a saltier marsh.
I'm going to do one from the other one because I think this was a leader.
A liter of salt?
No, he was a leader. He also has an iron cooking pot.
We won't be able to carry that.
Makes sense with the salt.
Yeah. This guy was a little bit.
He
thought of him. Well, he was a major warrior, but I mean, to relax, he would cook. So that's what he brought.
There's no way we can lift an iron cooking pot to carry around with us. That's
a giant-sized iron cooking pot for sure.
Yeah.
However, he does have 6 very large rubies, fire rubies, worth 300 gold piece each.
Fancy. You getting all this party treasure?
I am.
Okay. The Deathlocks don't have coin on them. They don't have anything all that terribly fancy on them. Their powers come from the grave and their patron above. They don't need to eat. They don't aren't very much concerned with mundane things, and none of their weapons appear to be all that terribly special. So unfortunately, nothing cool from them.
Anything? What about the dagger makes it a nice dagger?
Would you like to investigate it, or would you like to
I
arcana
would
it?
love to investigate it.
Well,
Oh,
investigate
I
it.
might even arcana it. Oh, wait for it. Arcana, investigate. I'm gonna definitely investigate it. It's a 19.
That's a 19. The blade is carefully and craftily silvered, which does give it the benefit of having it ignores certain uh, resistances that lycanthropes and demons may have, and devils. But with that roll, you also note that you would not want to accidentally cut yourself with it because it is 100% covered in purple worm poison.
Ooh. Does anybody else want the dagger?
Oh, there's
I mean, I'm happy to
one
keep it.
last thing. You are Elven, so you would note. You don't speak Undercommon though.
Nope.
But Undercommon
I'll
is
show
a
it I'll show it to my buddy.
well. The monk
Cuban,
can
as I
understand spoken languages and but cannot read spoken language or read
so
languages,
I'm
etc.
assuming phonetically I could read Undercommon but not understand it.
You know what? I'd let that happen. I think that's probably fair to say. Yeah.
Okay. So I read out the letters, and it kind of sounds a little bit like, liter versus leader, but hopefully he can
Uh,
make,
I'm
make
gonna
it out.
I'm gonna ask you to do a performance check, and uh, and if it's oh
Oh,
all right, so then I'll
okay.
give Noob a go. Noob, make an intelligence check.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
With advantage? Probably
No.
not.
Oh, that's a save, but I suspect that roll's good enough anyway. That's a 17. So, yeah, you work it out that it means beloved of Isle serves. I will type it in here.
Of who? Okay, good, because I bet it's spelled weird.
And that's engraved, you said?
Yes.
Beloved of Isle serves.
You've seen that
Oh,
name before, I believe.
Does
Yeah.
anybody have keen mind?
It is the I think the ruling family that is going all out of whack in Errol Heikenlu.
That is correct. You know
There's
the
all the Drow families, and one of them has risen to power, and that is Isleservs.
another name
They're
is
also
Go ahead.
they're also the big time Lolth followers.
Oh.
Another name associated with Isle serves is Eclavadra, whose name you heard from Stone Giants and also in the Fire Giant Hall. That she was there with her delegation. Eclavadra.
Was
You have actually
was
never met her because I keep
was
track
this a
of where
female
she's
drow?
moved. Yes. She is uh, rising She's the number 2 in House Isle Serves and is rising.
No, I meant the dead body.
Oh. Well, yeah, it's the assassin. I think it was Mary who ended the assassin. But
Possibly.
Noob fought it quite a bit, and then I think
Right.
Mary
I
fought it quite a
mostly
bit.
just fought I mostly was just fighting the fire giant.
Mm-hmm.
So metagaming,
assassin-
obviously.
The
based on
assassin
your-
was in the room with Foreshade, so I ended up fighting it.
Oh, okay.
It sounds like,
Oh,
based
yeah,
on
that's
your
right.
response to my, was it a she, metagaming, that this is not Eclavadra. But if it's a female drow, and she's carrying a dagger that says "Beloved of Isle Serves," I think Vela might be like, maybe this is Eclavadra. Dusty doesn't think that, but Vela might.
Was the assassin male or female?
Female.
Okay,
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at before.
gotcha.
Okay. Anything else?
Do you think we killed Eclavadra? Does anybody else think we killed Eclavadra? That would be a good thing, right?
I'm not sure who that is.
It would be incredibly fortunate at this stage.
All right.
Now, the only other thing is Foreshade went in the lava, so she's not recoverable, but anything magical she had may be if we were to find a way to retrieve it.
What are we gonna stick in lava?
I don't know if we can find something that can withstand fire.
About Robespierre?
Actually, I think you withstand fire a bit better than he does.
That's true.
Oh, that's true.
Not that I'm suggesting you go in there or anything, but you do have a natural resistance, if I remember correctly.
I wonder if
true.
through magic or other means someone here can, if we have the ability to adopt a form that is immune to fire damage.
Yeah, I mean, I've not done it before. I don't know if I've used any wild shapes. I have to
I
use
don't
2
think
of them
you-
to turn into a. Yeah, I haven't. So I
You
can
used
turn into an
polymorph.
elemental.
Man, if only you
Mhm.
still had that elephant.
No, I'm not putting the elephant in there. That would be not
Well, it was
very
really a
nice.
person.
Elephants are not immune to fire.
No, but
Right.
I don't know, for some reason. That's what
But
came
there
to my
are
head.
creatures that are.
Yes.
We have fought quite a few things in these fire worlds. I can turn into a creature that's made of fire. I think I could try it.
You have definitely
See
seen
how well it
fire
goes.
salamanders.
Well, I mean, I have the ability to turn into an. I'm just trying to make it like why
Ah.
Mary would all of a sudden be
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
I'm going to be a fire elemental.
Okay.
So,
Oh,
but
Well,
I have to
and
use 2
Perhaps we want
wild
to.
shapes to do it.
Perhaps we want to see if there's anything in there first.
You
I
want me
suppose
to do that too?
I can detect magic and get close and see if there's anything down there.
Is just out of curiosity, can you guys hear the TV in the background?
no.
No.
Okay, good.
Well, I mean, I can cast a spell and then wild shape and keep the spell up. So it might make sense for me to do it anyway, because then as I'm going, if you don't mind, I could even just ritually cast detect magic and then wild
I mean, if
shape.
she had anything remarkably useful, it'd be nice to know. I didn't think of it in the moment. I was only thinking about ensuring she was dead.
I think making sure she's dead, considering how often things come back,
Right.
that's
So-
a good.
I think it was a good choice.
Good
At that
choice.
moment, all I thought was, she won't come back from this.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've never done this before, so this will be fun anyway. So I'll spend 10 minutes, cast detect magic, and then use those 2 wild shapes, become a fire elemental.
Okay.
and then just walk around in the lava a little bit, see if I can find anything.
Okay.
I'll start where, Elva pointed out she got thrown in, because that seems to make the most sense.
All right. Um, you do detect magic. The body's been sinking. Um, so it's about 35, 40 feet down now in the lava. Um,
Well, I'm taking a moment to try to find what I can do as a fire elemental,
oh, I
because
guess that
I
would be
don't have that
that would be
stat.
outside of the range of your detect magic.
30 feet?
Once she sinks into the,
I said 30.
like,
Yeah,
she went
once.
into the
Yeah,
lava.
yeah, but I don't think she had yet. So
Well,
when
right,
I
but she
yeah
said when she went in.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I
okay,
have a speed of 50 feet,
okay.
and I can I can move through spaces as narrow as 1 inch wide without squeezing. What else does it say? I don't know. I'm susceptible to water.
Got it. Okay.
But I,
Um,
I, I don't know how solid, lava is, but I imagine a fire creature can kind of find a way to move through it
yeah,
if
no,
it's
no.
liquid.
My pausing is not anything with that. I'm trying to think if what I had on her would survive lava or not. So
Oh, okay.
that's why I'm sort of dithering.
Yeah, I mean
Uh,
typically magic items aren't destroyed unless intentionally destroyed. But I don't know if that applies to lava.
yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I mean, like
Throw it into the mountain!
for
I mean, this
example,
is not Mount Doom.
I'm
This
not
is just regular lava.
any of her consumables, I think, are gone. She had a couple
Oh
scrolls.
yeah.
Those are
Yeah.
toast. Uh, she had a
I don't think
potion.
they're even toast. I
That's
think they just
the
no
glass
longer
melted,
exist.
and that's diffusing through the lava. So, uh, the one thing there are two items that I know she has. So I'm gonna say those are present. Uh, I think you already have one of them. So, not gonna be terribly excited, but you eventually find her nothing. Like her body's gone. Uh, you just find that your detect magic brings you towards a floating metal bar, which is not to a fire elemental, but if you had been a creature, corporeal creature, it would be, of course, it's blindingly white hot, but it is not melting because it is magic. So you have a metal bar, and then there is a box, a wooden box that is not damaged.
Well, I'll bring them to the surface and set them on the shore
Okay.
to cool down.
All right. The
Deezan's gonna pee on them to cool them off faster.
Oh great. Now they're yours. They've
That's
been
what I was
marked.
going for.
Licking the pizza.
Don't
Oh.
lick them now. You just peed on them.
But I'm going to stay a fire elemental for 5 hours because
Yes,
might
that's
as well.
awesome.
Won't have to worry about light sources.
I
Yeah, and nobody will know it's weird.
am trying to find some stuff about her. Like I wrote this one like months ago, and so now I'm trying to like how do I find her pact? Like what kind of pact she has in my D&D Beyond
On a features and traits.
features and traits. Okay.
I would be able to talk to you, Nubin, because I speak Ignan. Ignan? And you speak all languages right now, so
He
at
only
least I can
understands.
communicate.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true. Sorry.
Nice.
But it just says
That's
you have
super
pact
fun.
magic. What's pact boon?
If you scroll down, it should have it.
Okay.
Like scroll down further in that, it'll say what pact she'd taken.
Okay.
While
Oh,
Paul's
okay.
doing this, I
Right.
thought it would be a good time to update everyone to let you know that we now have 23,997 gold, 7,468 platinum, a whole bunch of gems and diamonds and rubies and other things worth a whole lot of stuff. 14 potions of underwater breathing, 9 potions of healing, a scroll of blink, which we just picked up, a potion of invisibility still. We have ascending spell note card still. We have a giant velvety change purse from a giant, that is.
The giant velvety change purse.
We have 7 pieces of jewelry, each worth 500 gold. A giant silver belt inlaid with ivory and gems. I still have the Oni necklace, and I put the bead that I was carrying back in with it for now. We have the oil of slipperiness, a potion of giant storm giant strength, potion of superior healing. I just scrolled when I didn't mean to.
Where
A
was
scroll
I?
of apparently we have a scroll of protection from friends because I spelled it wrong instead of fiends.
Fiends. Protection
No
from
friendly fire
friends.
if you've got that
Nope,
one.
canon.
We never have to watch that show again, is what that means.
Nice.
We have 2 threads in here. We have Snur's Flame Tongue Greatsword and Snur's Big Ass Cape of Cold Resistance.
Nobody
A
took
whole
those, huh?
bunch. No. We're all wearing capes, I think, that we prefer.
Okay.
Well, and
Snur's
it's giant
crown
size, so we can just all snuggle up under it.
That's true. That is true.
If we get cold, we'll just all wrap up in it.
Don't we have
We
to
have
attune to it?
If it's magic and it
Snur's-
attunes to you, it'll shrink, but until you attune to it, it'll just be large. Yeah, it'll be enormous.
Yeah, there you go.
No, it's just like
Snur's
that big
necklace with
blanket
another
company.
thread in it. We have the bolt of silk, which got me in here.
You
me and
still have
Vela.
it?
Yep.
Yeah, he never sold it.
You're a terrible merchant.
Don't we have? Didn't you take the boots of striding and springing? Didn't somebody take those?
One item and you can't sell it.
Okay,
Nope.
we have the boots of striding and springing. We have a giant bone comb and hairpins. We have fancy. This is exactly how I wrote it. Fancy ass super light armor from the Drow commander. The helm of underwater action. We have altar garments. A container worth 3,000 gold pieces. A silvered dagger with the purple worm venom on the blade, and that sounds way dirtier than it needs to. And it's
You should put the
engraved with
engraving. Oh, okay, yeah.
engraved with the beloved of Isle serves, a floating metal bar, and a wooden box.
I don't think the metal
bar's
bar
not
floats
floating.
normally.
It just was floating in the lava.
It was floating in the lava,
Right,
but it's
but-
not floating now.
Although
I was writing everything down.
it could float.
Oh, is it
In a manner of speaking.
a immovable rod?
It is an immovable rod. If you guys have one, you would recognize it. So,
Somebody has one.
well,
Who has the
Robes
immovable
has
rod?
a rod.
Robes
of the
has
out-
one.
He's got Pack Keeper.
He's got a rod.
It's
he
the
does
rod
not
of the
have that
Pack
rod.
Keeper.
His rod is very much movable.
God.
Only when Vale is around.
No.
Oh,
No.
good lord. No.
Yes.
That's when he's moving it out of the room.
That's true.
All right, let's find out what's in this wooden box. Let's get it over with.
All right, are you gonna
Well,
flip it
we
open?
should. Does anybody have identify?
Well, that's probably smart.
Does the fire elemental have identify? Will you ask your
Do
noob?
not.
I don't know. It's
Okay.
not magic I have access to.
Does Rose?
Got it.
I don't think he does, but I will look quick.
I'm a druid.
We should probably
Most of
see
my
if this wooden
magic
box is trapped
nature
before we.
based.
No, he doesn't have it.
Yep, he does not. Okay.
Well, poo.
That's something we should have thought about at some point, is
There-
buying an item that does identify. Like a magnifying glass of identification or something. I'm sure such a thing exists.
Well, it does now. So you guys are heading to an enormous city, so maybe you'll want to go look for one. All right.
I'm gonna open D&D Beyond, so I'm writing down my spells just to see
Do
what I've
you
used so
want
that I
To
don't
make sure
get...
that they don't get overwritten.
Yeah, yeah.
So this box is about 4 inches tall. It is 6 inches wide and 4 inches deep. Uh, if you Now that it's sort of cooled and all of whatever lava, I'm sure it got shook off first, but it was also in the hands of a fire elemental, but it didn't burn. It is not marked. It is not charred. It is not scored. It is uh, impervious. It appears to be. It looks to you guys hinged by brass in the back with a hasp lock. There is an inlay. It's decorative. It's not evocative of anything. It's just pretty. But the box appears to be made of oak. The inlay is maple. Um, and there's just a simple brass hasp on the front that can be flipped and it opens. To some of you, it may look like a childhood music box.
I think it's a recipe box. She's got her little recipe cards in it.
She also
She was
cooks,
helping the
and
fire
she
giant
worked with
cook.
the fire giant.
Yeah.
Bayla, can
And
you
they
see
were
if it's
very
a
dear
trap?
to her, so she enchanted it to protect them in the kitchen.
I will check for traps.
Okay.
And I believe I have...
While I am asking this for no reason whatsoever,
Uh-huh.
who would be the person you care about most, foremost in your characters' minds?
All of us?
Each of you, yeah. I may not become important. I just want to know. So, like, if somebody were to dig into your mind a little bit and find out who was the most important person to you, who would it be?
Other than Dalt for Vela, it would be Robes,
Robes,
at this
okay.
point.
Like, deeper, not like who's foremost in your mind right now, but like
It could be
deeper
right.
thing.
Could be right now. If that's the first thing they would find, if they were looking, it might be somebody who's
If
more immediate.
someone were to, in Elva's mind right now, it's Vela, because
Okay.
she's opening this box.
Okay.
I would say for Mary, well, her uncle is one of the people she cares about, but she's been traveling with Nubin the longest, and
Yep.
she's been worried about how he's been more vicious.
Dark.
So she's been thinking about him quite a bit. So he might be the one that's forefront in her mind.
Okay.
And I was actually going to say the same about Mary, that Mary has been traveling with Newman the longest. And his friends are definitely the people that he's thinking about the most. So Mary would probably rise to the top on that,
Okay. Thank you.
which can't be good
I know.
that we said to each other.
I know.
Yeah.
So bad's gonna happen.
Maybe not. I just anything I'm going to do here, I'll promise you right now, is for flavor. So
Just like the giant.
Okay.
the
And
giant
the recipe card.
and the recipe cards. So,
Oh, that's the flavor.
did you roll that investigation?
I
Vela?
didn't. I was double checking because I had that dungeon delver feat, and I couldn't remember if I had advantage on
I think
traps.
you do, don't you?
I have advantage on perception and investigation checks made to detect the presence of secret doors, and saving throws for traps.
Okay.
But I don't have it for
So
finding,
not finding it,
traps.
but maybe getting away from it if it triggers.
Right. Yeah. So investigation.
Does not appear to be trapped in any way. It does not appear to be locked in any way. It appears solid, and it does appear, as you are turning it around now, that it is cooled off, and it was cool quite quickly. And are you picking it up to look at it, to investigate it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to figure out where it opens.
There's a lot of weight on the bottom, which you associate with perhaps gears. And on the bottom, there is a wind-up sort of clockwork crank on the bottom. And it's not just cool to the touch, it's cold.
So I'm about to turn the crank on this. I'm thinking if we think it might be a music box, maybe one of us should cover their ears? Maybe robes?
I don't think snakes have ears.
He looks mostly human.
Oh,
As he reminds me repeatedly when I start drawing him with like giant snake features. He's like, I look mostly human.
Unless other people want to cover their ears, but I'm gonna turn this. So, is anybody covering their ears?
Newbin's covering his ears for sure.
Okay.
I mean, the fire elemental, I don't know if I have ears, so I'm just gonna risk it, I guess.
Okay.
Okay.
Kind of. Yeah.
All right. Crank.
And Elva?
Nope, I'm paying attention.
You crank it.
Crankety crank.
Yep. It has not been wound previously, so you have to wind it several times to get it to the final winding. But as nothing happens, it's wound.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna check around, see if there's any place to open it.
As you're doing this, where are you guys? Are you where you're at? Like, you're all over the place. So have you guys gathered someplace? I just want to know, because I want to know if Banwu, the Night Shaper, and the other people are nearby.
I think I would have left that room to investigate this.
I think
because
we
I
would
wouldn't
not be
want
by
to open it.
them.
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
set this stuff here, so unless people came down, picked it up, and walked all the way
Yeah.
back up there.
If I move you all over to here, is that fair?
Yeah.
Sure.
Am I missing one of you? No, I got all 5. Okay. All right. So you were looking around to see what?
Find where it opens. Like if there, wherever the latch is
Just
or
the
whatever.
latch is right on the front, just like a music box. It's just a little brass hasp little thing, and you flip it open and you can open it.
Uh-huh.
All right. When you flip it open, how are you holding it? Are you holding? Is everybody looking over your shoulder to see,
Holding
or is it only Vela who can see it? Okay,
I'll let
so
everybody else decide
so
that.
the fire
I don't
elemental
think I would be
flies back over the
looking.
fire. Okay.
Well, I feel like this is a chance to be in lava, so I think I would be in lava, set the stuff down, so I would be nearby, but I'm not. Yeah.
having
We're just frolicking in the
I was
lava.
gonna say, are you having
Yeah.
a spa moment? Okay.
Well, it's more like, hey, I don't ever get to do this. This is the
Yeah.
first time I've been fire, so I'm just kind of playing. I'm not like not paying attention, but I'm
Backstroking
not.
through the lava.
Yeah, I'm just like, this is cool. Maybe I'll.
So like
you
a
know,
Bugs
whatever.
Bunny spitting the water up as you're backstroking.
Well, not quite like that, because I still want to be alert in case
Right.
something happens. But
Okay.
I think I'd like to hang out in the lava.
Who's looking over the shoulder as she opens it?
I'm looking at Vela.
Okay. Are you opening it?
Yeah, I
so
knew it was
that-
the same.
Okay. So
If it's a 0, Robes is looking. Robes is not looking.
okay. Ropes is sort of
He's intentionally trying to look somewhere other than at Vela,
well. Ropes is
and it's totally obvious.
quasi catatonic right now, and perhaps even having a conversation with the Weaver as this occurs. You flip it open, and a dancer springs up in the center and begins doing the pirouette. And the song you hear is just a waltz with the typical little spring chime noise. And the figure, as it's spinning, it begins as a sort of scantily clad drow woman, and on the second turn, it slowly metamorphosizes into Robespierre. And Robespierre is
Right.
staring at you. And
But he's wearing the same clothes that the Drow woman was wearing. It's really weird.
but as that happens, the figurine pulls out Waith, turns it around and stabs himself through the gut, and he melts and becomes yellow goo. And the yellow goo congeals around the bottom of the wooden tray, and you see nothing but a red eyeball staring at you, and it's moving to keep its eye on you as you hold the box.
Uh-huh. I briefly glance up to confirm that Robes is not a pile of goo.
Robes appears to just still be kind of having a moment, a little internal moment. Nothing has changed in his demeanor. As the song concludes, do you close it or do you want to keep it open till it concludes?
No, I need to know what happens.
Okay. The yellow goo.
Like a car crash.
I need a charisma saving throw.
Is it a trap?
It's not a trap.
Okay. It was mostly just so that I knew I was rolling correctly.
Yep. Okay. Well done. For a
Thanks.
For a second, you hear a voice say, "Do you swear fealty? Are you seeking?" And then you were like, "No, I'm not seeking," and it pushes out of your mind, but you can see it was trying to get a tendril into you to sort of get influence over you, but you push the influence out. Sort of this sort of crying back of, "But we could do great things. I can keep you alive." As the lid goes down.
I click it closed. So I don't think anybody else should open this. I'm pretty sure we know this was probably controlling Foreshade. And also, definitely Robes shouldn't open it. He has enough people talking in his head. And also Newbin. You've had people in your head before too.
Just swords.
I think maybe maybe we just throw this back in the lava. It doesn't seem like a great choice.
I can tell you secrets.
It can tell us secrets, but I feel like it's like one of those faith situations where if we get a
Seems
secret,
fair.
we all.
Chuck it in the lava.
You seek Lolth. I can lead you there.
But we know where Lolth is, right? We know where Lolth is.
We have a rough idea.
I enjoy
say
Elvis saying that as
Iggy-
Ed drinks whiskey. We have a rough idea.
That's wine.
Oh, sorry. It just looked badass. We have a rough idea. Anyway, sorry. You checking it in?
I reckon we'll find her.
I
can't spoil that accent yet. We have to start our next campaign first.
Nice. Oh.
Does anybody think we should keep this?
No, let's just get rid of it.
The only value it might have is as a bargaining chip somewhere down the road. And I don't know that I think that outweighs the risk. I don't know. But someone we meet may find value in it.
So, if you saw a vision of someone you cared about getting stabbed, turning into a pile of goo, which then coalesced into an eyeball and told you that it could help you find Lolth, you would get rid of that thing, right?
Did it look this? Did I see the same thing while watching Vela?
Oh, were you looking in the box?
I was watching Vela while she was holding the box.
Yeah, I wasn't sure because I kind of had this like this. You're standing in front of me, like 3 feet in front of me, and she
and
opens
if I
the
couldn't
box.
see it, that's fine.
So I don't know that you would see in the lid unless you wanted to. You definitely could if you chose to, but you would have to.
I made no attempt to do so. No.
Okay, there you go. Then no, you didn't.
Okay.
If you didn't look, you didn't look. It's sort of like when I see you, I think of you. I'm sorry. That didn't work. I wanted that to work better than it did.
It worked. It worked.
Okay.
It worked.
Because I said if you didn't look, then
Um,
you didn't look, and anyway,
then you didn't see is probably
then you
what you
didn't
should have
see.
gone with.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. I
You
set it down on the
use whatever you
edge.
like.
I set it down on the edge of the the rock area. And Mary, will you just take this just go for a real deep dive and see how far down you can get it?
All right, I'll grab it, take it back down.
Sounds good. And
Do you have to
easily,
breathe under there? Like, can you just dive forever?
Well, I'm sure it doesn't go down forever.
I am going to say there is absolutely zero problem, and it does go down. Like you don't see a bottom because it's lava. It's going to the core. Eventually, it gets to a tube if you want to be going for some time, but it is quite deep. See, I mean, however far you want to go, Mary, however long you want to take it down. I'm not going to get into whether or not a fire elemental needs to breathe in fire. Um, I have no idea. I'm sure they don't. So, uh,
It doesn't say anything about breathing,
I'm
but
sure if you're fire, you can be in fire. Uh, so, uh, so it's although I guess it's sludgy fire, but whatever. Uh, you have no problem moving through it. You are incorporeal uh, for the most part. Really, you're fire. So uh, I just however far down you want to take it, but there is you would have to go quite some time to get to the bottom.
yeah, I'm not looking to get to the core of
No,
the
but
planet. I just want to get it down far enough that I know the range of detect magic. I want to take it quite a bit
you
out
can
of that range.
easily with
You
no
know,
trouble back and forth moving, take it like 300 feet down and come back up.
yeah,
And, the Mary's down there for
I
like
think
a half a minute and comes back up.
I think I'll do that.
Okay. I'm not going to do the math for how long you were, but it's not going to subtract much off your 5 hours of being a fire elemental or whatever it is you have. Was it 5 hours?
I think it's 5 hours because I
yeah.
have 10 druid levels.
Yep. Okay. Easily done, taken care of. And this talisman is now floating at the bottom.
I hope that wasn't like a key. This is how you get the information you need. Plot point, DM.
I'll say in Ignan, you can't trust things from law. Like just because it's telling secrets doesn't mean it's accurate, right? Why trust something we don't even know? You probably can't understand that, but Newbin can.
Yeah.
I really love to imagine what that sounds like.
It sounds like campfires when they pop and hiss and make
Oh,
right
sweet.
Yeah,
that's what I think Ignan sounds like.
That's
That's
cool.
awesome.
All right. And that happens. Hi, buddy. Coming up. You just being that guy? No, you don't need that. Go on. Go on. So, anything else you wish to do? Now, you know you have. Did Cora leave? Or Cora is still.
She was supposed to. She was
Okay.
supposed to get past while we were fighting and
Right.
go to the deep gnome village or
Yes,
whatever,
to
right?
the Smurfs.
For the Smurfs.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that word because
Snurf.
I can't pronounce it. So
To the Smurfs.
Smurf Niblin.
Smurf Niblin. It
Mhm.
sounds like it's
The
probably
Smurfs.
Nordic in
Sverf.
Sverf.
You just keep telling yourself that.
All right. So, you guys, what do you wish to do with the prisoners and Ben Wounded Nightshaper, who eventually comes out and says, "I would like to see my daughter home. She has no culpability. I am aware of mine."
That's fine with me. I think she did her due diligence. She clearly knows she sucks. Or sucked at the time. going to be living with a lot of guilt.
I don't think I'll be living long.
She'll be living shortly with a lot of guilt. Did you need
I'm
to
not
stay
here
with
to
us?
pass a sentence.
Would it be better for you to stay with us? We can maybe help protect you.
Where you are going,
I don't think where
you
we're
can.
going.
Yeah. As you say that, Alva, Ben would have nods. Where you're going, you can't protect me, and I would be a liability to you. And so would,
More importantly, we can't protect your daughter.
and these other 9 people who are citizens of Keeland. Although I have abandoned my post, I will do my last duty and see them home.
I feel like you're really a downer. Like, who knows? You could get reinstated. Like, you're really speaking into being your death. And I don't know that that's guaranteed.
Yeah,
a very
clear.
competent
We don't
finder.
kill people over in Keeland, otherwise half the people we're fighting wouldn't be alive. So she's
Right.
got pretty good chances. But maybe
Yeah.
Nubin's the only one that hears this.
There's like this weird
because you can
bonfire
only speak
roar
Ignan
coming
right
from
now.
you.
So
I don't
you
know. I don't know.
Mary's
Does
just
anyone else think the
complaining.
fire sounds a little snarky?
Snarky Fire, the new album. Bye.
I feel like we have a passive aggressive fire.
I enjoy the concept of that.
I
I'm
really
not
think
going to
like
toast your marshmallow. I'm going to go all around it.
Don't mind me. I'm fine.
It's
I'm not touching your marshmallow. I'm not touching your marshmallow.
the fire.
Poke in your face.
Everywhere you move, it just keeps wafting. I'm not doing it. It just happens. Blame
Must
the
be
air
doing-
elemental for blowing my smoke.
Yeah,
in your
it's the
direction.
wind. I mean, I can't control that.
Yep.
Anyway.
All right, so
I just think like when you get back, there's a strong likelihood that you will be able to lend your services to protect the kingdom, or go to jail, but not die.
we shall see.
And either way, we have no intention of holding you here. And if you can help these people get home, great.
And what a great way to do penance.
I think I will also make my way to the Sphere of Neblin, and from there, hopefully,
Perhaps they know a way to the surface.
yes, perhaps not the way I came. There are too many Drow checkpoints, but perhaps there's a way. In any case, my gratitude to you and for your true and good service to the kingdom of Gul and the people of this world. And she is I think, 10th level monk, so she's not exactly, crappy. Oh no, 13th level monk. So, she's alright. So, she'll, take them and start as the bureaucrat that she is now, will start figuring out what food they can glean off of. They're gonna go to the fire giant, and you guys might have found some food, and they're gonna figure out what's travel food and divvy it up, start picking
Take
up.
that pot and salt if you want it.
Oh yeah,
They're
excellent.
They're good for a day because I gave them all a good berry.
Oh, that's
before,
right.
So
That's right.
they're good
Yep.
for today.
So everybody's good for a day, and then they're gonna just grab a bunch of other supplies. They're gonna grab some of the weapons you guys wouldn't be interested in, from the hand crossbows and the short swords, rapiers from the Drow, and just arm themselves as quickly as they can. And then she will give you a deep bow and lead them away. I'm going to put us on the amended map to Erlai Kinlu, so you guys can see where you're at. I believe your tokens are on here, so you should be able to see. I activated it, right?
Mhm.
Okay, good. As I recall, you are here.
Is Mary on here?
Yeah, I'm on there. I'm right next
Wow.
to you.
Oh, I don't see your token.
Are you invisible?
I'm
Oh,
right here.
oh, there
I
you
don't
are.
know.
You were under robes
under
for me.
robes, yeah.
Oh,
You were over robes for yourself, but under him for me.
gotcha.
All right. So
Why I'm still mad at you.
I'm gonna just make a little X for now for where you're at.
I didn't know he was under there.
You got over me? When were you under me?
Were you under me?
Okay. So
I'm not sure that not realizing it makes it better though, Mary. Just saying.
Well, I couldn't see him. I'm like, well, maybe he's not there because he's not here. But yeah,
That's just a different kind of
I'm
weird.
large elemental right now, so
Makes you question how memorable robes is.
all right. So that's where you're at, and you have the map, although I think the map was on Mary and it's absorbed into her fiery being right now.
But our characters have been on this map
Yep.
for like.
You guys have all looked at this
and
map.
we just had gone forward and back and forward and back to that hive of wretched scum and villainy.
So
We are on a road that goes either to that temple or to the Swiftniblin, so
right.
No, we're
But
not.
We're on the little road in between.
we're up here because that's where the ambush was.
Oh, I thought it was on the tertiary road.
We're not where the X was.
Oh.
That's where we started a couple episodes ago.
That's where Mary and I took.
Yeah.
Cora.
Oh, so you guys are here. Okay.
But then we went back and came around here because that's where the ambush was.
Okay, gotcha.
Because it was meant to ambush people from the Swiftniblins.
Right.
Which place that's labeled Snurf Neblin is actually Snurf Neblin?
They both are.
All of them.
Oh.
It's not the name of the place, it's the name of the people that are there.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. We have an Illithid place, a Myconoid place. These are all like, yeah.
Got it.
Well.
So yeah, I mean, we'd be able to just start. I don't think we want to go back to the temple, so we go the other direction, start heading towards Snurfneblin.
Okay. So you're going the same direction as them, so you will be traveling with them because it makes no sense not to. Otherwise, you're going to have a When Harry Met Sally moment where you're all walking in the same direction, like 10 feet behind. It feels awkward.
I'll have what she's having.
Unless you want to separate.
I wouldn't mind leading the way.
Okay.
If
nice.
then I can cast some light for people, and if I see something unusual, people would see me as probably unusual too. So,
right.
Like the Jews leaving Egypt, we are led by a column of fire.
I'll just let Nuba know if there's something, like our code word, or like watch out, there's something coming, or whatever. So as long as you're within.
If Mary lights anyone on fire, I'm going to assume that was a threat.
Well,
yeah, but like if I see something I don't want to get engage with, then I'll just speak through Nubin to let you guys know.
Well, one of you roll a fateful D12, please.
I don't want to.
I'll get
20?
12.
You got 12? It, Tony? You're doing it? Okay.
Yep.
All right. It passed. Nothing occurs in this. And now this is a very narrow tunnel. It's not like the fire elemental has to squeeze or anything. It just the fire gets really long and narrow. And
yeah,
then,
I can go through an inch, so I can get through anything, you guys.
But it's very, very narrow in places. Then it widens out. This is definitely not a main trail, and where it does appear and I'm just going to say this now because we talked about this at the table game this weekend. In my mind, I don't care what WotC says, gnomes are shorter than halflings. So,
We don't have any short people in our party.
but no, you don't. But it becomes apparent that any traffic that is occurring on this road is 3 feet tall and shorter. Uh, that's where like things have sort of been smoothed out and evened out, and so like the gutters of this are somewhat finished uh, as you get closer and closer, and then you come to an opening that is only 4 feet tall. You can all crawl through it, but you are at an opening that is only 4 feet tall. It is about where you would suspect the Svervneblin would be. It's been 3 miles.
But the fire elemental fits.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, an
you all fit.
outfit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, a large fire elemental goes through the 4-foot door, and 6 Svervneblin guards all start screaming, "Fire!" and start hurling little balls at you from trebuchets that they have.
I hope it does fire damage.
That does no damage to you because it's fire damage, and they just explode. They're like, "Oh my god! Oh my god!" Newbin, you can hear them speaking in deep undercommon, deep gnome. What you're hearing is them screaming like, "We're under attack by a fire demon."
I'll
It's,
put my hands up, like
Okay.
no, I'm not harming you. I'll make myself like as small as possible and just kind of stand there with my hands up. Anybody speak Ignan? Come on, don't you? And nobody here?
You can make a performance or a persuasion check, whichever you would prefer, to communicate. Or you tell me what skill check you want to use to communicate. You mean no harm.
Okay. I think because I am in a wild shape form, it's a nature check.
Okay. I'll buy it.
Do performance. I could do one of the other ones, but I'm like,
You make
I
yourself
am
look like the warmest, friendliest campfire
yeah,
ever.
just
Maybe
like,
not
you know,
warmest.
No.
yeah, just
The,
I think, yeah, like friendly fire.
nope.
And thanks for having
We have
us.
a potion for that.
No.
Tip your wait staff. We'll be here all week.
But no, I
we're
mean,
not
I
fired.
could do any. But I mean, it's an intelligence-based thing. I am proficient in it though, but I think it would make sense in a way
No,
because like I'm using, calling on my knowledge in nature. That's
I'm fine with it.
okay. And even that is a 10.
Yeah, they're not necessarily buying what you're selling. What are the rest of you guys doing? As there is some hesitancy to keep because it doesn't appear to be working, so they don't know what to do, and you're not attacking. But they're all looking terrified and like pulling out arrows, going, "Well, if the fireballs didn't work, this isn't gonna work." But they don't know what else to do, and they don't feel like they can let you, go into their village. So
Well,
there's a standoff.
I'll back out. But I don't want to hurt anybody. So everybody else would have to let me back out. You know what I
I
mean?
see like little fire feet walking backwards. It's super cute. In my
Well, I'll
head.
say to
Like little-
Nukin, tell everybody, man. Tell everybody, like, there's people in here. Tell everybody back out so I can get out of here. You guys might have better luck.
Okay. So you back out.
I don't want to
And-
burn anybody. So
Nubin, I don't know if anybody else has Deep Gnome or whatever it is. I think they speak Undercommon actually. Anybody who has Undercommon, but Nubin understands. They're like, did it just? I mean, but did it just walk in and leave? There's confusion and like, well, get ready because maybe it wasn't expecting us. So, what do you guys want to do?
So recognizing what language they're speaking, Dubin's going to turn around and look at everyone and say, "Is there any chance anyone speaks Smurf levelin or whatever?"
Well, you do, right?
I can understand it, but that does.
No,
Can I speak it too?
Yep.
Your key makes them understand you as well.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I guess I do. And he'll just kind of crawl through, and the first thing they hear is him swearing because the thing's only 4 foot tall, and he hits his head on a rock.
The horn gets caught.
Yeah, he's like coming out. He's like, "Son of a," and he goes out in there and he tells them, "We come in peace. We mean you no harm."
And they're looking at you with your white eyes and your red skin and your horn. Like, you all fire
Yeah,
infernally creatures?
I clearly look like a demon to
Yeah,
them.
a little bit, yep.
No, we are not all demon. And I'll bring everyone through.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow.
Are you?
Even the fire person. She's with us.
Yeah, I'll stay out though for a while. I don't want to hurt it. Like I won't go through it right now.
Okay. They all sort of.
We'll have the angel follow the devil through.
So they go. Newbin, you hear them like. All right, somebody, go get Oli. Go get Oli.
What was the name
Man.
of the gnome that sent us?
I am blanking on that too, but.
Well, we're gonna go with Sven, since they're looking for Oli.
Well, Oli.
And Lena, I would hope.
Yeah.
Oli is coming, and Oli has a bit of common. So, Oli comes out and says, "You guys from up there, huh? You know,
We
from
are.
the up top there. Okay, real good. You
Yeah,
looking
there, eh?
you're looking for safety then, huh?
Oh no, but well, yeah.
Oh, you speak common
You
too.
speak Smurf nibbling.
Oh no, but well, yeah.
Yeah, okay then. Well, we got some food. We got hot dish. Come on in. Uh, and the you said so the big fiery one. That one's with you too, huh? Oh, that's like a big old barbecue right there.
Yes.
Oh, okay then. Well, yeah, no, they're all, and then he switches to undercommon and oh no, they're real good. They're fine. They're good. They're looking for a little bit of shelter. Hey, how many of you big fellas are there? That's back in common.
14?
Oh wow, that's
15.
like 15. That's a big number.
10 of them I think were prisoners of the Drow that we've rescued that need some food and somewhere to rest up a bit.
Oh, you're fighting the Drow, are you? That's
On occasion.
Well, no, we got you there.
We fight a lot of people.
Hopefully not any of the gnomes, huh?
Haven't had reason to.
Okay, good. No, we don't. We're not spoiling for a fight. Well, oh, catching myself lying. We are spoiling for a fight, but not with you guys. Come on in. And they bring you into. It's just a series of really like you guys are all gonna have cricks in your back. Like even when you get through that 4 foot opening, it opens up to 5 feet. So everybody's like kind of hands and knees in here. Cora is also just like, "Oy, just need another night's
Cora
rest."
would have got here before us.
Yeah, Cora's already here actually. Yeah, that's actually something I should have played into. Oh, are you friends with the one who brought us the mangoes?
The mango pocket paste.
Yeah, well, it was dried mango that she turned into a paste. But
Definitely Cora.
okay, great. Well, so she said there might be some refugees coming, and then also some people who are gonna just kind of move on, probably, huh? Is that you guys? You biggins? Okay.
We'll
Yes.
be moving on.
All right. Yeah, sorry about the low headroom. It works out for us okay. But if you're looking for a place to rest, you can rest here. We got guards. Uh,
That
With
is good.
trebuchets.
yeah, and I can't remember. Like I want to say his name was Bill, but that's not right.
That sounds right.
There was a guy that called himself Leonard, and he said he would tell us his real name if we survived. But
The guy that we found at the fishing, right?
yeah, but I don't. I
Oh
did. I
yeah,
don't.
that was the
That was the relative or the
Sloobadoo.
right.
Yep. Uh, no, I'm
Yep.
thinking of the guy who was bringing the parts down that you guys
Oh,
originally
that
got
guy.
the stuff from.
Oh, Atoa. That's
The
what
one that I stole from. Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't hurt gnomes. We just steal from them. At least
And
some
talk
of
in their
us do.
heads.
But Mary can only speak Ignan right now, so they don't hear that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
not saying anything.
Um, whatever that guy's name was, he's here, and he only saw Vela, I think,
Yeah,
right?
I think that's true.
So he's like,
Yeah.
"Hey,
Hi.
I remember you. You're weird.
Yeah.
You spoke in my head."
I can do that. Did you
That
want me to do it now?
No, I don't want you to do it ever again. It's weird and intrusive.
Okay.
Uh. So, well, you, I hear you fighting the Drow.
On occasion.
We
Do
killed a bunch.
do the big folk up top, up in the sunlight? Do they? He's a surface gnome, by the way. He's not a deep gnome. Like, have they figured it out yet? Have they figured out who the bad guys are? Do they know?
Have the big folk figured out who the bad guys are?
Yeah, I did.
There's lots of bad guys in the world.
Last, well, I mean, this is a pretty imminent one, though. It's pretty quick. Like, bringing in Loth here, that changed this Earth into a big spidery folk place.
Well, that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, but it is a imminent goal. Uh, there are people working hard with power trying to make that happen. So we this our cousins down here reached out to us up top, the Tinkerers, and we're helping arm them to stop it because they're right here on the front line. So that's so we're on the same team then, huh?
I think so.
Well,
That's why I talked to you, because it felt like we were on the same team.
okay. Well, next time a handshake and a how do you do would be better than getting right in my head.
Well, I was going to just fix your cart, and I didn't want you to freak out.
So you went from I don't want to freak you out because I'm going to fix your cart to I'm going to talk in your head even though nobody's ever done that to me before.
Well, I was invisible, and I needed to be able to tell you that I was going to suddenly appear, and I didn't want you to throw anything at me or to destroy me. So it was a warning so that when I turned not invisible from fixing your cart, I didn't die.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Those were my options.
Feel like you might have had more. But
What you have done?
well, I don't know. Maybe not been invisible.
I was
Or
invisible
talk
because
out
for the same
loud
reason
so
you
I
were.
could. My horse could have, my donkey could have heard it too, and then I wouldn't have felt like I was immediately talking to a ghost in the middle of a dark, shadowy corner of the world that I was under threat from.
You
But
were
anyway,
hiding. I was hiding. Felt like it made sense. Agree to disagree.
fair enough. We're on the same side, right? We're on the same side.
Yeah.
So I am the inventor of Fireball-O-Matic. It's going to change the world. for good people. As long as it doesn't
lift
fall
up
into
my
the
bag
hands of enemies.
my bag of ball bearings. You mean these?
Where did
Caltrops.
Yeah.
you get those?
Unless Vela just pulls up her actual ball bearings,
Yeah.
and they
I
aren't
do.
related at all.
I actually get them both out. One of these, right?
He points over at the culture.
You mean these? No, those are ball bearings. What is that?
Yeah, those. Where'd you find those?
Stolen them.
They were sitting near a tiny trebuchet during an attack, and they looked interesting, so I picked them up.
Well, I'm busy assembling all the parts I brought in here into a bunch of trebuchet things, but I'm missing a number of like gears and
Couple of gears.
Two
and
metal sprockets, a
couple
6-inch metal
sprockets.
trebuchet.
Yeah,
I
little-
wonder where those could be.
But
I'm reading off my inventory.
I'm sure you can fabricate new ones.
I can, and actually, I brought enough where I had actually planned on losing about 15% of the inventory anyway. So, because,
You have to provide for shrinkage.
well, I'm going through a lot of checkpoints, and so I had a whole line of, these are actually little tiny excavators, and they actually can work for that. They don't dig very much, but they can do it. Anyway, so so you're moving on then, huh? Good luck to you. Anything I can help you with? I mean, now that we've been formally introduced, Mrs.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh no, not
Doubtfire.
Mrs.
Say Doubtfire.
Not Ms. Darkison.
Ms.
If you're
Darkison?
using family
Okay.
names.
And he looks over at Elva, who's been
But
talking
you
to.
can just call me Vela though.
Vela, okay. And you are Ms.
Elva Willowspark.
Ms. Willowspark.
Elva
okay.
Willowspark.
And
Pleased to meet you.
who's the quiet guy back there with the cloak on who's talking to himself?
That's
Oh, he's not
Robespierre.
talking to himself. He's talking to the deity that lives in his head.
Uh-huh. And I'm gonna leave that alone. And the one
Probably for the best.
who speaks like his own language and yet we can all understand it, the horned one, who's that?
The horny one is Nubin.
The fire
Good day.
is normally not a fire. It's normally a furbolg named Mary. She's with us too.
Well,
It's just way too short in here for my 7-foot frame, so
oh yeah,
I'll stay
you're
fire.
probably way more comfortable as fire right now.
But I won't. I'm not moving around and burning stuff. I'm just gonna stay kind of near
Sure.
the entrance.
Sure. So the refugees in Korra, well, I guess Korra is actually a refugee in this case. Korra and the other refugees plus Benwuda, Nightshaper, are all given like places to stay for a short period of time, and the Oli is speaking with Benwuda about the best way to get out. And Korra is helping Benwuda like kind of organize a couple things. She comes by and hugs all of you, except Mary, because that would be a bad idea. And even as she hugs Nubin is, or not Nubin, Robes is still sort of glassy-eyed about it and like, all right, cousin, it was good to see you. Good luck. And then, no, I'm listening. I hear what you're saying, and so, but then everybody else gets the warm, big smile hug from Korra. I wish I could see this through to the end with you, but I think other people need my help right now. So, good luck. And she
You
goes,
are seeing it through the end. I mean, she can probably understand me too, right? She's a monk.
"Oh yeah,
Or
same
is
same
that-
same
yeah.
level, yeah."
So, you're just seeing it through in a different way. So,
And then in fire, she'll say, "I kind of want to hug the flame anyway. But I'm not gonna
No,
because
don't.
I've been
Just,
I've been
no,
hurt
don't.
a lot. But she
We'll
pulls out it.
hug. We'll hug when we're done, right? When
Okay.
when everything,
When
when
you
evil
come
is
back,
vanquished,
when you
we
come
come
back,
back.
when you come back.
Hmm.
Okay. Bye, friends. And gives a bow like she always does before she says goodbye to people, and when she starts a fight, uh, the Cora bow, and then turns and helps organize the rest of the refugees and the ones that are most hurt. She helps, like especially the kids, because that was Cora's thing. Uh, and so Cora's sitting telling stories to kids and helping them bandage up hurts and stuff. Uh, the rest of you, uh, Oli eventually wanders over. Yeah, yeah. Between and I cannot remember the name. I'm just gonna call him. What did I say his name? I thought might be Bill. Uh, so what? It is the guy that you guys stole the parts from. So Bill and Oli will 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 be talking with you guys and saying, well, you're. I'm assuming you're heading to Erlac Kenlu then, huh? Oh,
That
yeah,
is
that.
yes.
Okay. Well, now we got friends of ours, Svervneblin. You know, they're up to the northwest there. You could make them, but Armax is in the way. Uh, I mean, you might be able to sneak past Armax, but he's
What is the story with Armax?
he just well, I mean, I don't want to sound blasé about it because it's gonna sound it's pretty fucked up. Armax appeared out of a wall one day. At least that's what we're told. Uh, he's pretty much just he's a giant eye and lots of little eyes.
What color eye?
His, I want to say it was somebody. Oh, I mean, nobody knows that's lived, but the rumors are it can be whatever color he wants it to be.
Hmm.
But he sort of floats, giant eyeball floating, and it shoots shit out of his eyes that kills you real bad. We try not to tussle with Armax. He's not always home. Uh, so what we do
How do you know when
is,
he's not home?
well, he's pretty territorial, and so we 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 have a tinkerer here, and we send a toy robot in, and if the toy robot gets blasted, we know he's there.
What were you
We
going to say before I
we're
asked you about the robot?
fairly sure it's not going to work for very long because he's starting to build this area up into a layer. Like we're starting to notice like he's building traps and things around him. That's but that is from here. Unless you want to go back to the Svartjet River, that's your well, gosh, that's not even that all that direct of a route, but it'll get you there. Um, then the other route and is to head back to the Svartjet. You're gonna have to sneak through a checkpoint, a Drow checkpoint, and I
Well, we
don't know
don't
what.
necessarily have to sneak.
Yeah, I'm a freaking prophet of loath. When I'm not a fire elemental.
But it does seem that taking these side passages would be beneficial. The less they know about our approach, the better, if word does reach them. And with our former friend, your former friend, fleeing that last battle, word could get to people.
I don't know if I'd ever consider Gellin my friend at any point in the time I've known him.
Well, I've only heard bits and pieces of who he was prior to us capturing him.
Yeah, I do. I'm speaking as Mary, but I'm sorry. I'm really not contributing to
right.
the
Oh,
conversation.
oh, you could be
I just
talking
I
and
feel
can't-
you
like,
could be translating, but
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
Noob's
if you want
translating.
to, but I feel like she just would like make comments based on like
Just being a
she
snarky
never
fire.
she never liked She's a little spicy as a fire elemental. Yeah.
Spicy fire
Galen was
elemental.
always, oh, he was always ick.
Oh, yep. Always was.
Mary, never heard you speak like that about another person.
I don't
Galen?
know if maybe it's the translation of the everything in Ignan just sounds worse or something. I don't know.
Little,
More intense.
like you're a little, like maybe you're just a little hot-headed right now.
Yeah.
Well, you
But I would agree with what Elva's saying because I think it makes sense not to let the checkpoints know we're going through if possible.
And if that means we need to sneak past Armax or not, I think that's probably still a better route than taking the chance of being found out by the Drow on our way.
Mm-hmm.
The less known we are when we reach El Haikinlu, the better.
So we still have a single checkpoint to go through if we go to your counterparts further north. We'll still have to go through checkpoint the
Exgothra.
Gothra.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you go through Armax, you're either going to go through the checkpoint Exothra or you're going to have to go through the excise house, one or the other. Either one are controlled by Drow. When we try to sneak past, though, we go through the excise house. The excise
Why is
house is
that?
controlled by the merchant class of,
Got those silks still, Nubin?
I do.
and it's a much larger environment, and they're not completely aware of that passage. Um, they know that that passage leads to the Illithid. They don't know about the secret passage, the small passage that joins up past checkpoint Goth. That's what we're planning to use to move. If we have a time, if the time comes for us to strike, that's the way we're going to move our trebuchet into place.
Well, excise house makes sense then. And it does appear from our map that we can go from there to El Haikinlu without going straight through another checkpoint.
I do apologize that you're all having to do this from memory because next time I'll put my belongings down before I turn into fire.
Yeah.
But hey, you guys, good memory.
I think for the sake of like they have a map too.
Elva will
They've
just
laid
take out a
map.
piece of paper and draw it. She's
Yeah.
got an 18 intelligence. She can remember this.
Yep. So, you got a plan, and I don't know how you want to, because you got 5 hours on I don't know how you want to use that, but I will say
Well,
you've only
if we're
spent
leaving,
an hour here. But if you're staying here, that's another thing.
right? If we're staying here, I'll drop it. I don't want to spend like
Well,
if we're deciding we're gonna stay in the village for the day, I'm not gonna, burn things up. But if we're leaving right away, I'd rather make use of the, form.
If
My
Rogue's
thought
right here,
is that
he
we
might want
spent
the rest, but
Yeah.
we spent a lot of resources and are hurt, and the option of sleeping somewhere with an active guard is appealing.
I think that makes sense. I just didn't want to be like, okay, I drop it, and then we're like, oh, okay, now we're,
okay.
doing an adventure.
I think we should take advantage of a safe place and rest for the night.
Agreed.
All
I
right.
think so too.
Just because I want to have an opportunity for something to go wrong, I'm going to call it a D20. If you roll a 1 on a D20, there's an attack. You guys may not have your rest disrupted. Or there's an encounter. I'll roll on the encounter table. It might not be an attack. But if it's anything other than a 1, you have your long rest.
I'll do it.
Okay. And you may all take the benefits of a long rest. And I am going to take the benefits of a bio break. So we will be back here in 5 minutes or thereabouts. And we'll come back soon. All right.
After these messages.
Wingspan is a place full of birds. Your goal is to build a wonderful preserve that will lead you to victory. Learn new facts about birds. Blue jays can carry up to 5 acorns. Discover new species. Help them lay eggs. Gain food. Or even hunt. Become a bird enthusiast. Wingspan, a relaxing strategy game.
Lavender Legal Center is a nonprofit providing legal representation and related advocacy by and for LGBTQ Iowans. Lavender provides direct representation, advocacy, and referrals, with a priority for serving those with low income and LGBTQ youth. Lavender operates with 4 main core values. The first is equity, recognizing that legal aid and related advocacy are basic human rights. Second is inclusivity, providing equal access to services for those who are marginalized. Third is dignity. LGBTQ people are worthy of advocacy no matter their specific need for assistance. And fourth is compassion. LGBTQ people in need of legal services come to the matter with great vulnerability. To best serve those individuals and families, Lavender Legal Center must have concern and understanding for their sufferings. Your support of Lavender Legal Center helps further the mission to provide legal services, advocacy, and resources for the LGBTQ community. Together, we can build a more equitable, inclusive, dignified, and compassionate future.
Wingspan is a place full of birds. Your goal is to build a wonderful preserve that will lead you to victory. Learn new facts about birds. Blue jays can carry up to 5 acorns. Discover new species. Help them lay eggs. Gain food. Or even hunt. Become a bird enthusiast. Wingspan, a relaxing strategy game.
Lavender Legal Center is a nonprofit providing legal representation and related advocacy by and for LGBTQ Iowans. Lavender provides direct representation, advocacy, and referrals, with a priority for serving those with low income and LGBTQ youth. Lavender operates with 4 main core values. The first is equity, recognizing that legal aid and related advocacy are basic human rights. Second is inclusivity, providing equal access to services for those who are marginalized. Third is dignity. LGBTQ people are worthy of advocacy no matter their specific need for assistance. And fourth is compassion. LGBTQ people in need of legal services come to the matter with great vulnerability. To best serve those individuals and families, Lavender Legal Center must have concern and understanding for their sufferings. Your support of Lavender Legal Center helps further the mission to provide legal services, advocacy, and resources for the LGBTQ community. Together, we can build a more equitable, inclusive, dignified, and compassionate future.
Wingspan is a place full of birds. Your goal is to build a wonderful preserve that will lead you to victory. Learn new facts about birds. Blue jays can carry up to 5 acorns. Discover new species. Help them lay eggs. Gain food. Or even hunt. Become a bird enthusiast. Wingspan, a relaxing strategy game.
Lavender Legal Center is a nonprofit providing legal representation and related
I was the only thing not muted, or I was the only thing muted at that time. So, hello everybody. We're back. Where we are picking back up is the group is taking shelter for the night and has done so. So they've taken the benefits of a long rest, resting with the Sphere of Neblin, the south for Neblin, uh, and who have given them some directions on how to potentially bypass security and get into Aralaikin Lu. They know that they have to head in towards an area that has been recently being a little vague, um, but recently occupied by a aberrant being, uh, a floating eyeball. They also inform you that the Armax has managed to gather a couple of allies. He's not really well established yet, but has managed to convince a couple of Kuatoa to join sort of his to serve him, really. The Kuatoa really are looking for deities in general, and some of them have come to his cause. So uh, they do warn you that perhaps you may run into some of them serving Armax in his lair. Uh, they do know that in order to follow the path that you've kind of laid out, there is no way around Armax's, but he's not always there. Um, there may be some Kuatoa there, but Armax may not be. And also, the Kuatoa think Armax has knowledge of things beyond our normal sight, and so perhaps, I don't know, I mean, maybe he knows something. But they wish you Godspeed. They ask Vela if she needs to replenish any of her jacks, her caltrops.
Oh, I would love to replenish my jacks. I'm also curious if you have anything in your stores as far as diamonds that you might be willing to sell for gold.
Yes, we are miners by nature, and in fact, before we had to turn our pursuits to defense and war, that is what we primarily did. And yes, mostly around these parts is, I mean, unfortunately for you, emeralds and rubies, but we do have some diamonds. How much do you need? Right now, they're not doing us
Well,
any good.
right.
But cash is
Uh,
important in times of war.
it's true. I am looking for
This is all Oli, by the way.
um probably about I depending on how much you have, either 300 gold pieces or 600 gold pieces of worth of diamonds, or diamond dust, even better.
Oh, um, hold on then. 1 second, and he goes and runs off. He says, "Yeah, just give me a couple minutes." So he runs off, and there's
Uh,
just a bunch of other folk, sort of like in Undercommon, like kind of like giving you the thumbs up and saying stuff to you that sounds like encouragement. And there's a lot of all right, go get him, Tiger, kind of language. And then Oli runs back and says, well, I got 300. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say, but it's gonna be what you need for the spell. He's got 300 gold piece of diamond dust right there. He's like, well, you don't know what to do with this.
Perfect.
Uh, so yeah, the healing folk, I guess, is really important to them, but there not too many of them running through here. So, uh,
I gave him 300 gold.
oh wow, thanks. Fair trade. Excellent. Love to have a fair trade. Um,
Me
so
too. Thank you. Do you think it would be useful to have a spell that blinds the floating eyeball?
I don't know that it actually depends on its site a lot, but I mean, I've never met him. I don't know.
Hmm.
Only know he's
Okay.
scary and he can do a lot of damage.
Right. Okay. Well, I just thought I would check to see if you knew.
No, nope, nope, new to us. Only been there for about a couple months by the way you reckon time.
How do you reckon time?
well, who lives, who dies, kind of thing. When do the fungal spores sort of reproduce, that kind of thing.
Fascinating.
And he's got Bill with him, and Bill's like, yeah, we call it months because the trees change and it gets colder and warmer. It's like, oh, it's always the same temperature down here. Stays even 65. So, uh, anyway, they wish you well, and then people kind of cheer you on, almost as if you're the advance war party going off. Uh, Go get them! Yay! Uh, and you guys can head north through this very narrow, again, passageway. Couple of places where it widens out, but this is not um, a main thoroughfare. But 3 miles into the journey, you come to a split in the road, where there's a place labeled Shalagala to the west, and Armax has definitely widened out and created a primary, full on 10 feet wide, smoothed out. Some of this looks blasted out, like it's been heated and smoothed or disintegrated. Uh, in fact, there's dust on the floor from where pieces have been cleared away and blown out. This is not dressed stone, but yet it is carved carefully and thoughtfully. But you can move two-person abreast through this to the northeast. If you wanted to go west, it'd be another tertiary, or not tertiary, secondary kind of trail uh, towards Shalagala.
Ah, Shalagala.
All right.
Shalagala doesn't get us anywhere closer to Errol Hai Kinlu.
Oh, I know. I'm already walking this way, but there's just something about it.
Something dreamy. All
Mm-hmm.
right. As you continue on, it's that that what that took you like maybe a little over a half an hour to get to the crossroads, moving at a brisk pace. But a little over a half hour because it's not a great it's not a well it's it's good for gnomes, not for medium-sized creatures moving through. As you guys get to this place that's been carved out for larger creatures, you can pick up the pace, and you have roughly 5 miles, 4.5 miles of travel. Uh, and you come to as you get closer, everything begins to become sort of off kilter and yet clearly designed, like odd angles and uh, sort of bubbles in the stone are left, just sort of half circles that just protrude in, and they're perfectly spherical. They've been carved that way. And yet in other places, it's convex, and the same size circle has been sort of pushed the into the stone tunnel, the cave wall, and it's disconcerting in its perfect symmetry. It's a perfect circle. It's a perfect half sphere, uh, and they happen all at the same sizes. Some of them on the ceiling above you. Sometimes you have to walk over a convex bubble in the ground, but there's a spheroid sort of preoccupation in the architecture of the tunnel as you move forward. What's your marching order?
Indeed.
Well, and before we get too close, are we just walking in, or are we gonna? They
That's my
said they
question.
send in a robot. I mean, is there anything we could do to kind of see if he's home?
Yes,
Um,
yes, yes. She
Okay,
pulls that fuzzy ball out and holds it in her hand.
first off, I wasn't even that close yet. You guys you're getting signals that you're there, but you're not in like you don't feel like you're walking in yet to like a layer yet.
Oh yeah,
Nothing's widening out, but
still.
you do feel like you're getting closer. Um, so that's why I asked the
I hold up a
conversation.
tribble.
So you guys are not. You're not. I don't want to say that you're right outside a layer yet. You're not there yet, but
right. But I didn't want to be right outside
right.
the lair when we were like, what are we gonna do?
Sure.
Because that
Mhm.
sounds
And
kind of
that's why I'm
silly.
asking.
So
We tried
yeah,
that yesterday and it went poorly.
yeah, it doesn't work well. So I mean,
Yeah, Tony,
Right.
I threatened the party yesterday. Sorry.
For real.
Yeah.
Thought I was gonna die.
yeah, I thought you were gonna die too.
For a moment, we
Uh,
thought you did.
Yeah.
I was mostly actually worried.
I
for
was ready
Earl.
to steal those diamonds off of Dristan and come and get you.
But so I would say marching order Elva is happy to take up point
I'm gonna put you in the order
as being
left
fairly
to right.
resilient.
Right,
Okay.
and usually Mary's more in the back,
Okay.
and I don't think I would want to go too abreast with anyone,
Okay.
like because I'm a bigger person.
Okay.
So
If I have the option, I'd probably be second in line next to Robes. I assume he would be near the front. He usually tries to tank, but I could see Nubin also being valuable up front.
Well, Nubin
Also,
can be
I'm-
anywhere because he's so damn fast. He'll be in the front as soon as he wants to be.
It's true.
And I'm holding up a tribble.
So do you want to be third, or are you like side by side with Robes?
Mhm.
Okay.
I don't feel like
Yeah.
Robes, because he's not here, should be up front though.
Winston's pretty cool about that, and it is how he typically plays. And if between
Okay.
all of you running Robes, I don't, if we go into combat, I don't know. I mean, we could message
Yeah, I
him
know.
because
Yeah, I know.
yeah, no. I mean, I wouldn't do it if it weren't Winston, but Winston's been pretty damn clear about this. Like when he can't be there, he's happy to have people puppet him.
Okay.
So, and let me look to see if he's even. Is he? It's not showing me who's in and who's out. right
no one gave him a long rest.
I'm,
so
I'm doing it right
Yeah,
now.
Okay, thank you.
I just opened it and
Thank
realized,
you.
yeah.
all right,
Um,
because I was hovering. I'm like, oh yeah, he still looks orange.
so is it Elva in the lead, Robes and Vela, Nubin, Mary?
Yes.
Okay.
Does that
Sounds
work for you,
good.
noob?
Yep.
Okay. So the way
And a
I've,
tribble.
the way I've got you is left to right like this. Does that seem fair? Accurate to what you
Yeah.
want?
Yes.
All right. So
And a tribble.
and you've got the
Because
tribble.
nobody's acknowledged the tribble.
No, you've
I
got
just
it.
want to make sure
Well,
that it's
You've got
clear.
the
Well,
ball.
right now it's just a
Every
ball in
time
your
you
hand,
bring
so it's
it
not in
up,
the order.
we get
Uh-huh.
interrupted by the so we haven't really. had a
Mostly, I'm
chance
making
to-
sure the DM knew.
I know you've
that I
got
was
a
holding
you've
it.
got a gray ball from the gray ball of or from the gray bag of tricks. I know you.
We know Vela's got balls in her hand
All right.
Fuzzy one.
And- and a treble.
Right, but so it could be good to have that, right? I mean, I don't really want because then we know he's there, but then he might know something else is here. So hold off on maybe
Well,
just
what if I find out what it is? Because if it's a giant elk, I'm gonna send it back. Like, if it's a weasel, it can hang out with us for the day.
do
Unless it
do we
gets
have
disintegrated by an I-beam.
yeah.
Right.
What is our overall plan though? Just see if he's home. If he's home, we try to fight and hope it doesn't kill us, or
We could attempt to bargain. Our only goal is to pass by. We're not
Okay.
threatening his territory. If we can do it without a fight, let's do it. But I don't think we shy away from a fight if it becomes necessary.
Well, and maybe only a few of us are visible, so that
I
it.
wonder
I
how good
don't
eyeballs
believe
are at
that
seeing.
I don't believe that visibility is an issue with this creature.
Do you know this creature?
We just said that.
I've heard of
Yeah.
things
We said
like
it off
this.
stream.
Oh, right. Okay. Thank you.
I've heard of things that have a similar description. And I believe that whether we're invisible or not, it will see us just fine. And in fact, if it glances in our direction, we would no longer be invisible. So I think our best bet is to walk in there and in a perfect world, he's not there and we pass by. If we need to deal with it, perhaps we attempt to deal, and if we can't deal, then we fight.
What about if we send Katha? So at least we know what we're walking into. Even if we're just walking in, at least we know what's there.
We can send Katha.
It doesn't have to be very far in front of us.
I'm
Just
not
'cause
certain how long Katha will exist if viewed by this creature.
Oh, because she's a
Because she
magical
is
kind
magical.
of thing. Yeah.
She's a familiar, summoned by magic. And if that magic is dispelled, I don't know if she could be dispelled like that.
But what
She
about
may
the
be.
animals that we pull? Are those magical or are they?
They are not.
Well, they disappear at dawn, so
I don't know that they're dispellable. They're not really a magical effect, but Katha is summoned by a spell.
But we
Right.
would know if Katha disappears that we're going to see it.
Right.
So at least we'd have that much warning versus it not being home and Katha just flying through.
Well, I can send Katha ahead.
Not very far. To maybe just like 15 feet.
I don't know that does us any good. If 15 feet ahead she's destroyed, then we're already in front of it.
Well, what would change if...
She can peek around corners at least.
How will our actions be different if it's not there versus if it is?
Oh. You know what? I do have some ranger spells, and something I can do can sense if there's an aberration within a mile of us.
Ah!
So
Okay. Well,
that
that's
might be a way to see if it's there.
that's
I forget
handy.
I have ranger levels. I have primeval awareness.
well that
So if we
Remarkable.
then we don't have to send Katha in. It just takes a level 1. I get 1 minute per level of spell slot. So once we get like within a mile of where we think it is, I can just see if I get a ping in a minute.
okay.
If you guys want.
You guys are a mile away or you're less than a mile away. You're about a half mile away from where you think it's going to be.
It'll sense aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, all those kind of things. It doesn't say location or number, but you know.
Yep. All right.
That.
It
So,
doesn't tell you whether it's an aberration, a dragon, blah, blah, blah.
To sense whether any are present within a mile of you, it doesn't reveal the creature's location or number. So you can sense whether the following types of creatures are present.
I'm going to say you know what kind it is. Because
Yeah,
I
it doesn't
think
really
otherwise
say. It doesn't say type. It just says location or number.
it would be
But
nice if it did say that. But I think it's implied that you would know what kind it was. At least that's the way I'm reading that. So
I've never done it before because I kind of
no,
forgot I had
that's the great
the
use of a
ability.
ranger ability. So are you using it?
Sure, I
Within a
will
half
use
mile?
that. Just yeah. Well, yeah.
All
It's
right.
not my. This is not my favored terrain, so it has to be within a mile. So.
Okay. So when you guys get to your estimation of a mile from where on the map Armax's lair is, Mary stretches out with her primeval awareness and like a sonar, this ding, 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 and then a vibration comes back that's unnatural. You've not felt something. This is of another world. You've been around fiends. You've been around. Have you guys been around a dragon? I don't think you have.
Yeah.
When did you guys fight a dragon?
There was a dragon in the fire giant, or the one of the giant pits.
Oh, it was an illusion of a dragon.
No, there was a dragon in the
There were
uh,
eggs. There were dragons with eggs.
That's true. We talked to actual dragons.
Okay.
yeah.
We didn't fight them.
Okay. Oh, the white dragons
Yep.
in the
Yep.
frost giant layer. The
Yep.
red dragon you saw in the fire dragon layer was an illusion, and the real one was in a extra planar dimension. It was a weird AD&D map thing. But
We've met dragons.
But you have met dragons, so you get this ping back that this otherworldly. It almost eldritch horror type, like, what is this alien thing? And you are
Dear
fairly
God, what is
certain.
that thing?
Dear God, what is that thing?
To the pain.
You are fairly certain it's home.
All right. Well, so good news. We don't have to sacrifice Katha or a creature. I'm pretty sure Eyeball Guy is there. Now we just have to decide who's going to be our best negotiator, I guess.
I can do it. I usually do our negotiations, huh?
Yeah, you normally do.
It's true. You do have a charisma of 20.
It's like double my charisma.
Yeah, it's a lot better. You're much better at this than I am too.
What kind of things? Okay, so what kind of things do we like maybe have that would be good bargaining chips? Like other things we can all think of that Robespierre might be able to offer if this creature is amenable to negotiating?
What do we have? We just went through the bag of holding the other
We
night,
have a
right?
number of magical items that we're not using and are unlikely
Okay.
to use.
So maybe those would be good gifts.
Maybe we start with one, and then when it doesn't work, we offer the second.
It might have good use for a comb.
It has.
And you're noise gated, but I'm so sad because you were laughing so hard.
No, I was mostly laughing silently, but I.
Oh, okay.
Just gonna brush its eye tentacle stalks off
It
of
just.
its head.
I'm just thinking of Vern from Stand By Me. I brought a comb. You don't have any hair. And to have Tony be the one saying he brought a comb. It's perfect.
What if the creature wants more than just items? What if it wants like a new place to live or sacrifices or
Then perhaps we don't have room to negotiate and we turn to plan B.
okay.
And plan B is fighting, right? That's what you're saying?
Well, yeah, unless we just want to do
Run.
just ditch him. Someone
okay
ring the
with
bell and
running.
we'll all run away.
I have a bell.
Well, and then
Want me to-
maybe we should decide if
We'll
plan B
ding-dong
is
ditch
fighting
him.
or running, because that can make a difference.
I like the idea of ding dong ditching a beholder.
So if I hear a bell, that means run, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Robespierre's going to smooth talk his way past this guy. If it doesn't work, we fight until the bell, and then we run.
Wait, do I have to decide when the bell rings?
You have the
Well,
bell.
You have the bell.
That's a lot of pressure. I'm not sure I like that amount of pressure. Okay. I can do that. I can. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I can do that. Definitely.
All right, this tunnel is oriented the wrong direction because I'm just reusing tunnels I have. Uh, so this would be north is to the right.
We're not on the map yet.
I know, I'm pulling your tokens on so that when I put you on, you don't all tell me I can't see.
I feel like either Ed or Robin should roleplay Robes as charisma work.
Oh, no, Robin's charisma's more like Mary's.
I'll role play. I'll role play making a charisma check for him.
Oh, fine.
But he's not here. I'm not going to speak for him. I will try to marry.
Wait a minute. Oh, okay. All right. All right. Can you all see in here?
Yeah.
I can see.
Okay. So,
Clearly now.
but Robes is in the front, right? And then I'm assuming
Yeah.
Elva behind.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the three of you are sort of bringing up the rear. Is that fair?
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
The
Yep.
first you see is a Kuatoa who steps forward as you walk in. And he says in very lispy common, "You have entered the shrine of Armax. Prepare to either sacrifice yourselves or sacrifice things that are worthy of the great Armax."
Great. We've come to make an offering.
An offering, you say? Excellent.
Is to take us to Armax.
Oh, you wish to see Armax. You don't just wish.
Unless we can simply make an offering and pass through, that's fine too.
Yes, that's even better.
We'll just pay the toll and move on.
No, yes, that is almost always amenable, provided what you offer is satisfactory to the great Armax.
Just got to towel off a little.
Yes, this happens often.
My armor's rusting from this conversation.
So, what is it that you have to offer?
We have this beautiful cape.
It's a cape. Is it a special cape?
So much more than just a cape. Look how big it is.
Properly sized for Armax.
Wait, what size?
And also-
What is it? What's the cape?
It's
Sure.
what is it? It's
What-
it's the giant cape of cold resistance.
Oh, it's a giant cape of cold resistance. Okay. It's hard for me to go back
Not
and
just
forth.
Yeah.
not just
You
it's
wouldn't
not
want-
just a giant. This belonged to the great King Snur.
Oh.
We
Snurg,
We wouldn't
you
want
say.
Armax to get cold on a cold underdark evening.
And this guy in the front here snaps at the guy in the back, and two more Kuatoa come out to kind of look at the cloak as it's laid out, and this one goes running this way.
if you each take a corner, you can pull very far.
This?
big
Yes, it's very nice.
I'm sorry.
I told him we already got one.
I'm sorry. Do you have any provenance for this cape of Snur?
No, he's dead. He did not provide us with a provenance prior to dying.
So this is the, law of the adventurer, the gained cloak.
This could be considered Snur's death shroud, as he died in it.
That's fascinating. You two, lift this up and see how tall it is. And they lift up. Oh, that's quite big, that is. All right. What else have you got? This is not quite enough for easy passes.
Give him the
Well,
comb.
if you, if his eyelashes ever become stuck together, the giant bone comb will certainly fix the problem.
Didn't that come from Snur's wife?
It did.
It's also
did.
from the king's wife.
Oh,
The queen, as it were.
The queen, you say? The queen had a comb that is over here now that you also have stolen from the fire giants.
No,
Well,
it
it's
was
not
also part
stolen,
of a
it's
death
spoils.
shroud.
Spoils, you say? Spoils. Okay.
It's not stealing if they're dead.
This other Kuato comes running back and starts whispering in this guy's ear, and there's all kinds of like spittle on the side of his face. Okay. Armax demands an audience, but he is quite interested in this cape. And the comb is of interest as well.
It comes with these extra fancy hairpins.
Bring those too. Armax would like to see you.
Everyone, if you have anything reflective, cover it. Beholders reproduce by reflection.
Considering I don't get to carry metal or wear metal, I don't think I'm in.
I have on Mariner's armor. I'm gonna flip my cape like all the way around me, so it covers everything up.
All right. I don't want to, play board games here. I'm just gonna, if you're all willing to move into the audience chamber.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
While we go, I think there might be some subtle like, is there anything else? Anything we don't want to give?
I mean, anything we've been carrying around this long in that bag. Right? I feel.
Don't give anything we absolutely need to succeed, but otherwise.
Right.
All right. I know that this is a deep cut, and I also know that not everybody's into like pop culture references like I am. But if you're familiar with the 19
Can it really be both?
also
A deep cut and pop culture?
it is, I think, both.
Deep pop culture cut.
It's sub pop.
Please feel free to arrange yourselves as you wish to be in the audience, but the Kuto will arrange themselves around you, preventing you from easy escape. So they're going.
I do feel like where you have Mary is perfect for her. Like, I'm just going to stay back here.
Okay. So there will be some blockading, like they'll be behind you, but
Sure.
They don't have like knives in your back or anything. They're just standing guard as you guys have been brought in front of Armax. Now, Armax, I cannot do this voice, but the voice I want Armax to have is Eddie Deezan, who is best known as having the nerdiest 1980s voice ever. And I'm gonna put his. Can I put his picture in here, or should I just put it into like into the Discord so you guys can see?
He's from Greece. He's the nerd in Greece.
I absolutely know who that is. I didn't know the name, but
This
seeing a picture, I know exactly who that is.
This is Eddie Deezan. Okay, so he talks really loud, and I got a whole bunch of things for you. Okay, so Armax.
I feel like this is the guy from the D&D like script that we do that says, "If there are girls there, I want to do them."
Is very similar. So
I mean, it's not.
I was in
I think you are not wrong.
Armax
No, that wasn't from Greece.
has a very whiny, high-pitched, and overly loud voice. So as you walk in, he goes, "So you got a giant's cloak? I'd like to see it." He's a little bit like Chicken Lady too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, so if you've got a giant's cloak, I think you should put it on the floor now.
We give it to
We-
your people.
And the one runs over you. Armax, your lord, it's right here. Okay, thank you. And he backs up.
No, lay it out properly.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Here we go. And they fluff it out. So you guys are hunting drow, are you?
We're hunting many things.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Now, a lot of reasons to go by through here. I'm kind of dangerous. And he just,
Yes.
carves the wall right to the west here. Like, he just sends his disintegration ice stock over and starts carving the wall out while he's talking to you. So,
Well, you're very, very mighty.
I am mighty. But I also a little bit irritated with the drow.
That
Do you
is
want us
convenient.
to be hunting drow?
Do I want... look, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but it would certainly be convenient if you were drow hunters. Are you drow hunters?
This is your lucky day.
It is my lucky day because I think I am not as familiar as Ed is with beholders. Doesn't he?
Perhaps we should offer him
I thought he had
the
the
armor we
teleport.
took from the Drow commander
Oh, yes.
as a payment.
I
Yes,
felt listen.
we
What
have-
oh, Iris, there they are. I'm like, he has a telekinesis ray, right? Yeah. All right. He uses his telekinesis ray to pick the giant cloak up off the ground, and so now he's a floating eyeball with a cloak that is too long, but it looks like a regal, like it's laying down behind him.
It's held up by it's wrapped around a couple of the eye stalks so it
Yeah.
doesn't fall off.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think this suits me. Don't you think it suits me? Don't you think it suits me? And he's looking at Elva. Does this suit me? This suits me, doesn't it?
It's much better sized for you than any of us.
Yes. I'm not sure that's really answering my question. It suits me, doesn't it?
It's
Oh,
a
it's
wonderful
very nice.
color on you.
Thank you.
it
Very,
really
very
brings
nice.
out your eye. The,
Is that an eye joke?
no, you have a beautiful eye. And others.
They are beautiful.
Bear in mind, Robes has a 20 charisma.
Charisma, I know.
As he says that.
I'm not even going to make a roll go. They are beautiful. So, I'm feeling generous because this is an excellent gift. I just thought perhaps I should pass along a couple things to some people who might be helpful. Do you think you would want some information?
We are always open to information.
If it would help us vanquish the Drow, it is welcome.
Well, I'm not from your country, as you know, that's an idiom. I'm not from any country really. I'm from another entire dimension called the Outer Realms. But now I've turned into like sorry, I'm not
Or
good at-
whatever.
or oh my god.
An ethic girl.
Yeah. Sorry, it's still Eddie Deezan. So
But Eddie Deezan is an actor, so Eddie Deezan is now playing a Valley girl.
that yeah. Eddie Deezan seemed to play kind of the same character no matter what.
Yeah, true.
Typecast.
So, the thing that probably is most important for you to know is you have to have threads of Lolth in order to open the gate. Do you have these threads or know where to find them?
Well, why would we want to open a gate?
Because Lolth. okay, maybe you guys don't know as much as I know, but Loth is coming, and
That is undoubtedly true.
and
That
she,
we don't know as much as you do.
well, I'm glad that's been established by just not me. It's nice to have some validation from, the other people in the room. But once you open the gate, you're going to have to destroy whatever opened the gate on the other side. Do you know how to destroy it?
No, but we would welcome the information.
Okay. So, if you had all 8 threads of loaf, once you open
This
the
is an
gate,
item of some kind.
yeah,
A thread.
it's a thread. It's made of like adamantine and mithril forged together in a very holy bond, and it's not identifiable by any spell. Anyway, if you bring that into her domain, you will have to do the following things. You need to first use universal solvent on it. You'll have to find some universal solvent. And then you'll have to add to that. I don't know if you have any of this. I don't. But I could get some if you need it. Purple worm venom. Then, if you
Does it
have.
need to be liquid venom, or could purple worm venom that's on an item work? If we had a dagger coated in venom.
Don't bother me with details. He doesn't know. Uh, and
I
then
apologize.
and then you will need to hallow the ground that you're on inside the abyss, which is no easy feat. Will take at least like 60 seconds of spell casting.
I'm sure the great Armax could do it in less time.
Well, almost assuredly if I had like the desire, but I'm busy working on this sort of bubble land thing I'm creating.
It's very nice.
Thank you.
Does it seem like what he's saying is true, or does it seem like he's just making shit up?
Roll an insight check on a beholder.
Yep. Yep.
Well, because I didn't know if like, I mean, I've never met one before. Still hard for me to tell.
Okay. I didn't actually look at the roll. I've been looking at the
I rolled an 8, so
8.
Mary really is not sure.
18
Yeah.
But
for
other
Elva,
people
but
have done
25 for
better.
Newbin.
Little
Yeah.
up your square. The monk maybe using the key. This guy actually seems to want to come across as impressive and is giving you the truth, but is holding stuff back.
Vale is going to talk in Robes' head to say, find out how we get back once we destroy the threads after the gate is opened. Isn't it going to close behind us? And then ask, because Vela recognizes her own failings at charismatic conversation.
Okay.
So leaves that up to Robes to ask about. And he
Okay.
does.
But you're also now playing Robes.
Yep. So Robes asks that question. Well, obviously you're gonna have to close the gate because she's gonna want to come out, and like the trick is, and what is probably in your favor. Oh God, I'm going into that voice. In your favor is that you get to choose where in her realm you want to appear. She doesn't know where the gate will open. You get to pick. So,
But there's
Which
something
is
on the other side that needs to be destroyed.
well, you have to bring the gate key with you. So you open it, you have to grab the threads of Loth if you
So
have
we'll
them.
need a key master and a gatekeeper.
And then you need to destroy it on the other side, which would seal you in. So, as far as getting out, well, I don't know.
We'll be on our own for that.
I don't know everything, but I do know that planar gates from the abyss aren't easy to come by.
You come from another plane,
I
correct?
I do, but I haven't figured out how to go back, and I'm not certain I want to. What else you got in the
Are you
bag?
able to travel between other planes willfully? If we were to offer a great gift or boon to you, if we're successful in this, could you travel to us through the planes?
I'm looking. I don't think he can. Because once they,
I have no idea.
yeah, I don't think they can because they get here by accident, like, and then they don't know what to fucking do once they get here, and then they make up all kinds of paranoid stories about why they were destined to be here. Is the lore that I read in 5e, but like, uh, I'm kind of considering this guy a young beholder, so uh, I don't think he can. He does not have ability to. I don't know that you have enough to offer me.
That's
Avela's
fair.
gonna hit Robes up again to ask a question, and he's, we are looking for a metal rod that is tuned to a plane of existence. With you being a planar traveler, is that something that you might have?
Or do you know how we can attune one?
I think you're gonna have to give me more than this fancy cape.
Of
And
course.
also, I don't need a rod or a fancy tuning fork to move back and forth.
I
But
know
we
you do
would.
not, but we are not as great as you are.
Yeah, I don't know how that works for you.
Okay.
And
Well, I
I
appreciate your honesty.
don't talk down to me. I don't
No,
need. I.
I appreciate that you are willing to gift us with your intelligence.
That's better. I would like more gifts.
And we would very much like to give them to you.
And Nubin will reach into the bag and pull out. I'm
The
thinking,
drow
but
armor. The
He's
drow
he's
armor.
he's so averse to Drow. Let's present him a gift of the commander's armor.
okay.
We took this off of a Drow that we killed,
Ooh.
a leader of their people, though we didn't stop to ask his name or
Well,
her name. I can't recall.
Sylvester, try this on. Yes, Lord, I will put it on right now. And
Sylvester.
it's not actually my name, but he likes to call me that.
Well, and it's magical, so it won't rust from all the spittle.
Oh, that's exciting. That is. All right. So they also are always fluid. Kuatoa are always secreting goo and water from themselves.
They're
So
always moist.
always moist. Yep. Uh, always slippery. Always slick.
Yay.
So, uh, so then he says, I think the thing that you need to take into account is, uh, there are always planar gates. So even if you can't make one for yourself, you need to figure out how to see them when they show up. Might take you a couple jumps to get back. Like, you could jump from, say, the Demon Web Pits into Acheron. Jump from there into, say...
Isn't that in Ohio?
I have never been to the plain of Ohio. I hear they suck compared to the plain of Michigan.
Acheron is a subplane of the plain of Ohio,
Okay. Uh,
next to Cleveland.
yes. And Cincinnati. Anyway, it's Acheron is perhaps a place you could end up, and then from there into Gehenna, and then jump from there into one of the inner planes, like the elemental plane of lava, and then
Do these planes connect to the Feywild?
eventually the Feywild is one jump off of here. Now, if you make the wrong jump, you could end up where I'm from. But I don't think your little pea brains can handle it.
You're
Though if
probably
everyone
right.
there is as magnanimous as you are, perhaps we could find a way from there as well.
Oh, they're not. They're dicks.
Well,
In any
we are
case,
extremely fortunate to have met you then instead.
well, I hope that our exchange was profitable for you. I am going to use this armor that Sylvester is going to model for me as my new creation. And he starts disintegrating this bit of rock into like a figure of Sylvester in the armor.
Well, and just to be sure, I hope we didn't interrupt you when you were giving us those steps to destroy the gate. That there are just the three, using the universal solvent, the purple worm venom, and then hallow in the ground.
That's the steps that would do it. That'll break those chains.
Thank you.
I hope to say you're very welcome. Because, bluntly, I'm not in favor of Lolth getting here.
Yeah, I could see how it'd be problematic for a lot of different people.
I think it would be troublesome. So, as I carve out my new empire, for which I will establish myself once the Drow fall, you, should you prove to be resilient enough to live, and to find your way back to this plane, uh, you know, you might find work with me. For a
It would be an
reasonable
honor.
amount.
Would
We
would
thank
I
you for your mercy.
be able to leave one of these seeds with you? I've been planting them all over my travels, and I think it would be really cool to have a plant growing here with you.
He backs up 5 steps and goes, Sylvester, you may handle the seed. Sylvester walks
So,
forward in his armor that doesn't fit him very well, and he's like, okay, hand me the seed.
all right, I'll pick one. I know it's hard to grow things underground. Maybe it's more of a spore than
Okay.
a seed. I don't
Sure,
know.
sure.
And I'll I'll hand it to him
You're just
from
gonna have a beholder casting daylight on it every day.
Wander Root
Does he?
stash.
Can he cast daylight?
He's a spellcast. I'm sure he can figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's on the stat block, but
You
I
know-
bet he could do it.
Do you know what would be funny is if it became like his goldfish kind of thing, like he has a bonsai plant.
It's his, yeah.
It's his
His
bonsai.
little
He
plants.
starts
Be
like
awesome.
he starts bonsai planting with it. Okay. Done. Sylvester takes the seed. Well, I am intrigued by this. I will look into it.
I feel it brings out the best in someone when you can like nurture something and let it grow.
I am the best in someone. I am the best of me. I'm the best of
Yeah,
everyone.
and I just think that would be a wonderful attribute to lend towards this little seedling. I can't imagine what wonderful thing you're going to produce.
I'm intrigued as well, and I will be. Sylvester, just go find something that plants grow in. Yes, sir. And he goes off. And the rest of the Kuatoa will escort you out unless you have other questions. But he seems to be done.
I will give a very deep bow.
Okay. And
And I kind of want to give another. Well, we gave gifts. We're good.
You have a lot of gifts, yeah.
okay.
But Elva's all about gifts for things that are. This feels a little bit like it should have gifts. So
Okay.
I feel like you probably have an inappropriate jade statue somewhere in your inventory.
no, I gave that
No,
to
I
the
gave
king.
the king.
Keelan.
That's Kimberto Scotti has the.
I was really thinking earlier about asking
The stir
Can't remember her name. To ask after my statue with the king.
Oh, Benwuda.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Ask him if he's still enjoying my statue.
probably more than he should. Okay. You guys are escorted out of uh Arnax's lair, and you are
That went exceptionally well.
Oh, yeah, much better than I thought it could. Seems like most things want to kill us. I know what you're talking about though, Vela. Like I've heard about those kind of spells. Um, that if you have a tuning fork, like a tune to the plane you want to go to, you can just shift a whole bunch of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not able to do that magic yet. Are you?
I can. I'm pretty sure I can do that. It's something that I've often prayed about, and I've never really seen a need to ask Delt to help me prepare that spell. But I think I can do that one, and then I know there's another one that I've talked with Delt about that allows me to um have Delt send me an ally from another plane that could assist us in some way. But that one, I get the sense, will cost a lot of gold, which isn't a bad thing. We have plenty of gold. Um, because we could ask anything from the ally that Dalt sends. It's just a matter of how long it takes. And then it costs us money per hour or per day. And, but if we have a planar ally who can plane shift or has a tuning fork, then we could pay the ally to get us back here.
That
It's nice to
monetary
have a
cost is
couple
exactly why
options.
we should be taxing churches.
I think it's good to have a couple options. Definitely if we can get a tuning fork in one of the like cities that we go through, that seems like a good thing to have.
Yeah, the one I have like prepared today is one that allows me to step into the uh there's like this plane that's really ethereal. You know that word?
Mm-hmm.
Um it lets me walk into that space of like zenness, and everything around me kind of fades away into grayness, and then I can come back really easily. But it only helps me. It
You
doesn't help
know,
our whole
it
group.
also
we are
only helps you from
heading
the material plane, by the way, just so you know.
we are heading into a Swiftniblin village, and they seem to have some crafting capability. Maybe we can ask them about a tuning fork.
I
Tuning
think
fork.
that's a good idea.
Hmm.
We
I
can
think
also
that's
search
great.
for one once we get to the city.
It has to be at least 250 gold pieces when we get it.
Well, we can pay them whatever we like.
It's true.
We have
And
plenty of gold.
has anybody ever had universal solvent before?
No.
No.
Okay.
So
I
that
wasn't
seems like
familiar with
another
that one.
quest to try to find some of that.
Yeah.
And I imagine Vela, you're able to do a ceremony to kind of hallow ground. Is that something clerics learn?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes, you did that.
I did.
Oh, that's right.
Hmm.
That's right. Okay. So
Yeah.
we got that one covered.
Yeah. I mean, that one's good. Um,
It I
um,
don't know what the spell requires on the material plane for
well,
time.
I need to make sure I get some more incense because I used up all of my herbs and oils and incense.
All right.
What's the
So
cast?
we get making
Uh,
a shopping list here, huh? Some
yeah.
incense, some
It also
universal
takes
solvent.
Yeah, it also takes I didn't cast Hallow before. I cast
It takes
Sanctuary?
24 hours to cast.
Yeah, Hallow
Hallow.
I didn't
Oh,
do. I did
So you need to be able
I
to
think
cast
I
Hallow in a minute. So you're gonna have to figure out how to cast Hallowed in a minute.
okay, well that I can do.
Uh,
Wait, no, I don't know. What's the DM ruling on casting time for a spell storing? Ring of spell storing. Does it take me
The
24 hours to
the
cast
ring
it into
says you take an action to release a spell.
right.
Okay.
So we would have to cast the spell in advance. Into
Well,
the room.
that's why I was asking the DM, because that has been a different ruling in previous times.
Well, and it may not work that
'Cause-
way in the demon web pits.
So we need an enchanter.
Well, it's the person has to cast Hallow. It has to only take a minute. I'm giving you
Right.
this is a mystery that's not going to be solved by knowing mechanics. So
Right.
I guess
Uh-huh.
I'm confused because what it sounds like you're saying is something impossible has to happen. So
Yeah.
right.
that I
So you need to find other people to give you more information because you know it's impossible
Oh.
because Vela knows that's impossible. So
Right.
there's clues to
Got it.
discover, is what I'm saying. You're
Oh.
going to need to find out more
We got to
information.
talk to people.
Yeah, you don't have enough information yet.
okay.
Got it. Huh.
And or other things. If you want to find out how to do that, there are other things other than talking to people, I imagine. But
Well, and what's wrong with what Vela had suggested? Like like you said, it wouldn't work the same.
We don't know for sure
But
that a ring of spell
Well,
storing would.
and looking at the ring of spell storing, it doesn't say it's an action. It says it allows you to cast the spell.
oh, okay.
So if the casting time is 24 hours, the casting time is 24 hours.
24. Okay.
yeah,
Right.
I don't know any of that because I
Yeah.
don't have that item, so that makes sense. At first, it sounded like
I
that,
went and read it because I was remembering it being as an action you can release the spell, but that's not what it says.
Gotcha.
It says you
Okay.
can cast the spell as and you use all of the attributes of the person who originally cast it, but you're still casting the spell.
Gotcha. Well, then that's what's wrong with what we were suggesting.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't know that, but that's not what I intended for the ritual. So the ring was not going to work anyway, and I would have made that clear to you down the road.
We need to figure out a way to make that happen.
Right.
Another way.
It's a special way. You've got to do hallowed in
We
a
just
special
need
way.
to distort time so that 24 hours happens in a minute. That's all. I'm sure one of us can learn how to do
We
that.
can figure something there. I'm sure there are ways to do that. Time acts very differently on different planes, so we don't know what it will act like in the abyss. When I went to the Feywild, I lived there for 20 years of my life, but 40 years
That's
passed at home.
right.
So time is different on different planes. So the way that this may not be as insurmountable as it sounds.
We also have the benefit. Remember, we spent a whole day at that spot at the beginning of before we came down super far
Right.
into this area. We hallowed that space, so I could cast Word of Recall when we're in the other plane first, because that's really fast and doesn't. It just is like me saying, "Dalt," and if that works, it brings us all back to there immediately. But if it
Does
doesn't
that work
work,
across planes?
it doesn't say it doesn't. I mean, I've never cast it in another plane, so I don't know. But there's nothing in it, in my understanding of it, that says anything
Don't think
about.
that helps us destroy the portal.
No, this just.
But it
I just
it
was
might be
thinking
a way
about it as
home.
I was thinking about
How to
the-
get back. Right.
the
We were looking at
shopping list.
two different problems.
Mm.
Destroying it and getting back. So,
hmm
Okay.
all right. Well, it gives us some things to think about.
We are 10 minutes shy of the absolute deadline of Tony Pumpkin time, and I think now is a good time. You have negotiated your way past Armax without angering him. And quite frankly, you guys would have pummeled the shit out of beholder, a single beholder.
It
But
seems so scary,
Unless
though.
unless
I
the
don't
dice
like
go
it.
if
wrong
the
and
dice
one
go
of them
wrong,
gets
one
Yeah.
of you could have gotten
disintegrated.
And then
disintegrated. But
someone gets disintegrated, and that sucks to make it this far to
Yeah.
have a disintegration ray take somebody out.
right, it could have gone awfully badly. But you
Yeah.
guys at your level would probably be able to manage a beholder ish. You know, dice in your favor, dice not in your favor. Hard to say. But you did get past Eddie Deezan, the beholder, and are on your way to the northern sphere of Neblin, and much closer to the city of Erlai Kinlu. And you know a little bit from this plane traveling weirdo about what's going to happen when you get to the other side. But
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice of him to give us some ideas.
eh,
We should probably warn people, though, that there's a beholder wanting to take over down here.
there's a lot of
Well, the
people wanting to
Svirfneblin
take.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah, they know, but
and the
yeah.
Illithid also want to take over, but they're
They
unwilling
Yeah.
always
to take.
want to do that.
Yeah,
And honestly,
So,
if the Illithid and the Beholder want to go at it, that's great. That's great for everybody.
yep.
Because no matter who comes out of it, the other side's going to be weakened, and that's good for
mhm.
everyone.
That's one you just watch, and when you pick, you know, wipe up the rest when it's
Yeah.
done, right?
So that's where we're gonna leave it tonight. We'll be back, I think, in 2 weeks' time. I don't know that we have a hold uh, on that game. Uh, we are getting very, very, very close, very close. So, uh, uh,
Every time
But
we're
we need to
getting
go up
close.
4 more levels.
well, I
I
mean,
know.
there's a possibility you
Yeah.
guys won't make it to 20 because
Well, then you're just going to have to find more stuff for us to do
You
because we
failed.
cannot come this far without getting to 20.
We've been
You
told this whole
promised
time.
us
Yeah, you
The
promised
reason-
4
me.
years, man.
I will say this: if you don't make it to 20, it's because you find a way to circumvent getting to 20. uh,
Oh,
so that's
it's because we find
So we'll be
the easy
punished
way
for
out.
our intelligence as
Then we
always.
should get
Yeah.
to 20 because we circumvent the
well,
problem.
if you do it,
which
I
is-
will automatically make you all 20th level, and that's it. But if you figure it out, there are a couple of barriers to some things, but there are ways that you could just. There are way. I mean, I'm not gonna nerf players, so if you guys figure out something that there, if I nerf, you will know ahead of time, so that you have things to. You know that it's not going to work in this scenario, and so you'll have time to figure out other things. But otherwise, if you figure out a way to move around, that's you guys. So, and I don't know if I'll be able to be like, I mean, what the fuck would you guys do if you were like, oh, I figured out a way home, and we're level 18, and I figured out a way home, and I don't have to go through all of this shit, and I already locked the door. Well, I guess I'll go fight for 2 more levels. Like I don't know,
See.
I don't know what to do if you guys get
we
home.
can take over the world.
You
You
might.
thought we were going to save everybody, but no.
You guys can do whatever you, and I won't say it's over, but I will say, yeah, you guys win. You stop Lolth. So I'll figure.
Yeah, that's a
I'll
goal.
I'll figure something out, but there is a way for you to just that I can see right out of the back of my head that you guys can just do it and get back at, and you'll be level. I think it'll be 18 at that point. So there's a way for you to do it. So I am trying to figure out a way to make it so that you can't just do that, so that there's a reason to get to 20, because that's the goal. So, but
Yeah.
story-wise, I have no idea how I would stop you. Like at 18, I mean, you're really fucking powerful at level 18. I don't, like there's other than like making up rules that aren't in the book that I'm would have to be coming up with on the fly that would feel very unfair. I'm trying to come up with stuff ahead of time, but it's hard because this stuff was written. The stuff that I'm using was written in 1978 for 1E, and part of the reason I'm not using Q1, the actual 1E, is because the first thing it gives is 40 spells that are not permitted in the Abyss. And I was like, well, that would suck if I were a player and I leveled all this up and now like 2/3 of my spells are not available to me when I'm on this plane. I would not
It
like
would
that.
suck.
Yeah, what's that? What's the fun of
Yeah.
that? So that's why part of why I'm tossing it, because it's like I don't want to just take away spells from people. That's why get to level 18 and then not get to use a 30 or 2/3 of your shit.
Especially if you're classes that don't get to pick every day.
Well,
Yeah,
that
no
Yeah.
Like
kidding.
I have the spells I have and that's it.
well that
Yeah.
So
that wasn't a thing in 1E. You didn't get to pick from the list. You had what you had, and so if that
yeah.
spell was gone, you were done. And
Yeah, that seems really
What a bag
unfortunate.
of
I mean,
dicks.
I can kind of understand
1E
story-wise
is
why something
awful.
like that might happen, but I think it would really piss me off as a player
yeah,
to be like, "Oh, okay, the fighter can go and hit things the same as before, but now the only reason I was good is taken from me." Like that would be frustrating.
there was no thing really, like they didn't really have the concept of class balance back then. I mean, they were still figuring this shit out. I mean, the idea of experience points, leveling, and hit points was invented by D&D. So like they so magic users were supposed to be extraordinarily high risk, high reward. And so if you were a magic user, your spells were doing way more damage than the sword ever did, um, at high levels. But
But you had to survive to get there.
you had, not only did you have to survive to get there,
Because
you could lose your
because
spell.
level 1 you didn't have anything.
You had a
You didn't have
dagger.
any
You
spells
had
and you had no ability to use
Ugh.
weapons.
you had magic missile once per day and a dagger. That's what
But you didn't have magic missile until level 2. At
you
level 1 you don't even have your first spell.
I think at level 1 you had magic missile. I think
Oh, and that thing we did briefly with Corey, they didn't have spells yet.
oh man, I'm pretty sure when I played 1E, I think you had one spell and everybody took magic missile. But you can only use it once. So you were
And it only was one missile. 1d4 plus 1.
yeah, it was pretty shit, but it always
Wow.
hit. But it always hit.
Magic missile, not plural, singular.
But it always hit was the big thing. And so, you saved that guy and then you beat the shit out of it with your quarterstaff or your dragon to the best you could and you ran away.
Man.
Then you hoped you lived to get to level 5. That was the big deal. Anyway, hey, we're done for tonight. So thanks for joining us. We are Roleplay Give, and until we're back, we're not going to be here Monday. We're not here for our regularly scheduled Warblers game tomorrow. We are going to be playing on
Wednesday, we'll see you at 6 Central.
6 p.m. even. It's an early night.
It's an early one.
Well,
I won't be on for the first hour of it
that's
then.
right.
Right. You told me to start it as soon as we could start it.
That's fine. Yeah.
I can start it at 6:30. We'll be on sometime between 6 and 6:30. Let's be real.
We almost
It's the workhorse.
never start at 6.
Yeah.
We're supposed to start.
Well, we don't usually try to start at 6.
No, we don't.
No.
But we never start this one. We're supposed to start at 6:30. We don't ever start until 6:45 at the earliest, and usually 7. So, Central, 8 Tony time. So, anyway, so Wednesday we'll
You've
play
got your own
Warblers.
time zone now, Tony.
Tony does own a time zone. Wednesday we have Warblers. We do not have anything until Sunday morning. We're playing Aspergenesis.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
then Monday we'll be back
Some
with
Donna
Donacam.
came again.
Okay.
The time zones go Tony, Sheboygan, Marijuana, LA.
Sounds right. Yeah, we have nobody on our channel that plays or shows up regularly from the west.
From
Pacific.
marijuana or
Yeah.
LA.
Or
Yeah.
from marijuana. No, we don't have anybody from marijuana. Because Winston is in Central. Yeah. So
He's
No,
in
he's in
Sheboygan.
he's in
Sheboygan.
Sheboygan. Yep. So, all right. Until we're here again.
He was in Sheboygan, then I get to meet him. Sorry.
Great.
Yeah.
Someday, I hope we can get him up here.
Theoretically.
I have met him in person. It was lovely. And Lauren. So Until we're here again, roll some dice, play some games, give up time or treasure to causes that are meaningful for you. We'll see you on Wednesday. Cheers, everybody.